Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hi, it's me. And the only explanation I have for why I am 9 minutes late and Keffels is...
Now don't go shooting at us no more, you hear me?
I was under fire. I was under pressure. I don't know. It was a wild day. It's a holiday here, so there's a lot to do. But yeah, it was just a wild one. My mic has been possessed by the ghost of something, or possessed by Satan himself for the past few days, and it keeps auto correcting and adjusting. So apparently, when my Windows updated, it has done something internally to automatically modulate the mic, and it's annoying the shit out of me. But here we are. So hey, welcome. I'm glad you're all here for another Maritime Monday. Wouldn't be a Maritime Monday without y'all. And of course, we've got the Polish fisherman captain's hat. That's the official hat of Maritime Monday. So how are we all doing? We're talking about Unforgiven. It is. All Westerns are masterpieces. Even the spaghetti Westerns are. So how are we all doing again? Looks like we've got the usual crew here and a lot of new faces. I'm just welcoming you all here. We've had a good weekend, and now we're back to business. What we're going to do is we'll get meme copium just rated. That was perfect timing. As soon as we start, we get rated by meme. Hey, memes folks, you are just catching the very beginning of this show we've got going here. We haven't even started yet. So today, normally I go through and I'll tell you what we're doing this week, but we'll do that at the end. I put a thing up on Twitter. The Illegal Vices is my Twitter ID. Put up a weekend preview there. So there's already been some changes, but we'll iron out those changes in a bit. But hey, right now we got a lot of good stuff going this week, so you don't want to miss it. We'll talk more about that later, but to hit the highlights, we've got Maritime Monday. We'll be having OJ Simpson on Thursday as usual. We'll be having the Effort Friday stream, the epic 25,000 subscriber Effort Friday stream on Friday. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing people behaving really, really poorly in court. It was one of the most frustrating hearings I have ever seen in my entire life. It triggered me so much. I've watched it 3 times already, and I just get angrier every time I see it. And then Wednesday, we're going to talk about Korea, some Korean issues, Korean things that are going on, politics, BTS, pop culture, ramen, kimchi. We'll be doing a Korea stream. News about Korea and Korean issues. We'll talk more about that later. But right now, we got some video here to get to. For Maritime Monday, what we're going to do is we're going to do the main case, which is the massacre that occurred in relation to the PINGSHIN 101 fishing vessel. Extremely strange case. We'll do that. There's a couple of articles and a very short video. And after that, we'll do what we started to do here. We'll go back to our roots because it's such a small story, and we'll have some extra time. We'll go watch some good old-fashioned ship collision and ship disaster videos. That's kind of the plan for the evening. So strap in and join in. Again, welcome to the meme folks for rating us. The Dragon Cook 666. Start time is for people to be here, and fill up, not for Jeff to be here. It is for Jeff to be here, but hey, I'm a professional procrastinator. And that's how I just missed something. What did I miss? I saw a flash of green. What does the flash of green indicate? Who did what? Oh, there we go. Hey, Mimi. Mimi is a member for 2 months. Congratulations, Mimi. Good morning to in Virginia. Love the shirt. Yeah, this is the shirt that I just happened to have on all day. Didn't even have time to change into something a little more appropriate for Maritime Monday. Now I just like Gilligan's Island Monday, or this Gilligan. It's kind of Skipper Monday here. So all right, Mimi has been a member for 2 months. Congratulations. That is awesome. What's with the new comment pop-up? I don't know. Farron messed with it on Saturday, and I have no idea how to unmess it, but it looks good. I don't know. I think it looks good. I have no idea to unmess what Farron did. Flux, Thank you so much. Kicking us off as always. I look forward to the first flux of the day. Oh my God, I love the shirt today. It's so loud. Really, though, is awesome. Okay, now time for the death and destruction. Hashtag pants are prison. Yes, they are. All right. Oh, see, that's the other thing. We don't know what's happening yet. K. Shiloh Williams says, "Good morning, Legal Vices here for the party and to catch the Waukesha coverage." As some of you may have heard, Nick was talking about inviting me and Andrew Branca, the law of self-defense, on to do the Brooks hearing. Apparently the jury selection isn't being televised. I don't know what if anything, Nick is going to be doing, but if I get an invite and I wake up or I am awake, then I will jump in. So I don't know if I don't know what Nick's doing, and I don't know if I'll be invited, but if I am, I will participate if at all possible. So stand by for that. All right, hit that like button. We've got 179 of you and 79 likes. Exactly 100 of you haven't done your jobs. Get down there, hit the like button, smile, sit back. We're going to be watching some pretty disturbing stuff and pretty weird and disturbing story, and then we'll just kind of wrap up with a good half hour, 45 minutes of collisions and accidents and people doing stupid things. So, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it. It appears that YouTube has done another purge when you just wake up and suddenly there's like 16 subscriptions that are gone for literally no reason. You haven't done anything controversial. So apparently just double check to make sure you're still subscribed. And if you haven't, please resubscribe. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump right back into what we've got to do today. And that is Maritime Monday. If this is your first time here, that's what we do. We look at maritime accidents, some disasters, shipping disasters, pier, shipping explosions. We've done a lot. I'm still working on getting all of my videos playlisted, and soon there should be a playlist for Maritime Monday as well. I think I already made it, but there's only one video in it. I'll go back and index everything. So you'll be able to go back and watch things. And then you can check the list to see if there's something that you want to cover that we haven't, or if, watch something that you may want to watch. So that's where we are. And that's what we're doing on Mondays. It's just kind of become a tradition. Today is a case involving the Taiwanese fishing vessel, the PINGSHIN 101. And let me bring up the news screen here so we can get right into this article. This is a wild one. All right. It's from the Washington Post, and this was on October 13th, 2020. All right. And as you can see, the title of this is A Slaughter at Sea, a grainy video, and justice delayed. Oh, Joe Choi, thank you so much for the doggy treats. They will appreciate it, and they will take care of it and eat. Hey, mods, thank you for being here. I forgot to say thanks to my mods. Please forgive me. You mods rock. Thanks to the chat. So, what is this all about? The Slaughter at Sea, a grainy video, and justice delayed. It's kind of it's literally not kind of, it literally is a murder mystery. So let's check it out. We'll get to that video later. The men are helpless in the open water, clinging to floating debris, tossed by the rolling ocean waves. Several large fishing ships circle. None of the victims have life jackets, but no one makes a move to help. This isn't a rescue. A voice off camera shouts in Mandarin, "In the front, to the left. What are you doing?" Then fire, fire, fire. Bullets spray the water around one flailing man. One round catches him, his body stills. Blood plumes in the blue ocean. Later, deckhands laugh and pose for photos. Grainy videos of the 2012 killings, which shows the systematic slaughter of at least 4 men in the Indian Ocean, has been circulating in the darker corners of the internet for more than 7 years. Now, authorities in Taiwan have arrested a suspect, a 43-year-old Chinese national who they believe is the man who shouted the orders to kill. Investigators hope he leads them to others. So set the stage here. You've got a Chinese ship and possibly more Chinese ships. There's several ships circling the area. And there's people floating on debris and wreckage out in the middle of the ocean. Nobody's helping. And then one of the fishing vessels begins firing on the people in the water. And this was in 2012. What took 7 or 8 years to effect the arrest of the person they believe was involved in this? Well, that's what the mystery is about today. We're going to get down to how this came to light. You're in the middle of the ocean. And you know, the saying goes that for 3 people to keep a secret, 2 of them need to be dead. You wonder, if everybody's in on this and you're in the middle of the ocean, how does this happen? Oh, I mean, Mofok asks the $10 billion question right out of the gate. If it happens in open international waters, is it still murder? Well, yes. But what can you do about it? That's the tricky question. And that's the one we'll be addressing after we play this out. After we see how all this worked its way into the consciousness of the people in 2022. So again, this article is from 2020, but this is just the beginning of the mystery. Oh, and thank you for everybody that is doing the likes. You have, hey, hit the subscribe bell. Got to do that. Get all the channel notifications. Member perks. We do have member perks, emojis, and member-only live streams. That is a fact. So if you want to join the membership, please feel free. Not required, but always appreciated. And we kind of have some fun. In a couple of weeks, we'll be doing another members-only live stream. Right now, I was just going to check the numbers here before we get back in the deep dive. 220 viewers and 140 likes. So again, 80 of you, just get down there and hit that like button, subscribe. And if you're so inclined and you want to guarantee that your question is answered, super chats are the way to do it. If you have something to get off your chest or just a random comment you want to make, or you just want to donate some money, just do that through super chats. Not required. No minimum. I do have, for those of you new to the channel, I do have a bottle of whiskey on hand. When the grand tally hits $100, that's when we take a drink just for the hell of it. If we get to that point. If not, whatevs. All right. With that out of the way, let's get back into the article. All right. Investigators hope he leads them to others. Korean advertisements. But the case, which is still unfolding as of 2020, shows the challenge of prosecuting crimes on the high sea. There were at least 4 tuna longliner ships on the scene of an incident that unfolded over more than 10 minutes in broad daylight. Now, here's the first thing that we note. No law requires any of the dozens of witnesses to report the killing. You're out in the high seas, there's no law that says you have to report anything you see. No one did. Is the high seas no man's land? Is there no law applicable? It certainly makes it tricky. So we have 4 ships at least involved. 1 shooting, others watching. Nobody reported this. So nobody reported it. So how do we have this here now? How are we sitting here talking about it? Somebody had to tell somebody, right? Well, not intentionally. Law enforcement in the open ocean is limited, and jurisdiction is complicated. Authorities learned of the killings only when the video turned up on a cell phone left in a taxi in Fiji in 2014. That's where the discovery part of this mystery begins. The killings happened in 2012. 2 years later, somebody leaves a cell phone in the backseat of a taxi in Fiji in 2014. So imagine when you're trying to find out whose cell phone you've got, you go flipping through the pictures, the videos, the contact, and you see a video of what appears to be murder taking place. I bet that's not how that taxi driver thought he was going to be starting his day. It's still unclear who the victims were or why they were shot. That has never been figured out to this day, exactly who they were. There's allegations that they may have been pirates, but there's no proof, there's no evidence, there's no identification of any bodies. This would, if that video hadn't ended up in the back of a taxi in Fiji 2 years later, it's very, very likely we wouldn't be talking about this today. And the Fed did some goober filmed it and uploaded it to Facebook Live. Obviously, that's pretty much what happened, except for the uploaded it phase. And Flux, again, thank you so much for the super chat. You should read audiobooks. I'm very picky with audiobooks because of the people reading, but you have such a good reading voice and cadence. Ah, well, thank you. I thought about it for a while, but maybe when I retire and I'm older, who knows? That would be fun. But thank you for the super chat. And I agree. I like to read books. Sometimes I actually even read books to myself out loud. It sounds like I'm 4. I read books out loud. I just like to hear the story unfold. Jason Lazzotti, thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning from Boston. Keep the great videos coming. Really enjoy these nautical videos and the legal implications / maritime law. Well, good, because that's what we're doing. We're keeping it real here. Sticking to our roots. Again, for those of you that don't know, this Maritime Monday thing just happened on a whim. I had nothing to talk about. I figured, why don't we just investigate a little bit of the things that I do in my office, some of the things I deal with and I have expertise in. And so I showed a few ship collision videos, and Maritime Monday was born. So we're going to go back to the roots today, and after this, we're going to be doing some more of the videos. All right. All right. We don't know who these people are. We don't know why they were shot. They just were. All we have is allegations, but we don't know what the allegations are right now, because this is just starting to unfold. We're going back to 2014. We should do like we should do a poll on who the people were, but there's going to be 3 choices: pirates, randos, or I don't know. So that wouldn't be a very fun poll. But let's just let this story unfold. It's still unclear who the victims were or why they were shot. An unknown number of similar killings take place each year. Yeah. People die out at sea. And that's okay. Well, all right. If I can, I'll remember to get back to that topic. I don't want to go full ADHD and go off on other cases I'm dealing with. But needless to say, people disappear from ships. Not totally uncommon. People die on ships. Not all that uncommon. I mean, it's not like a daily occurrence, but you hear about it quite a bit, and I deal with it quite a bit. An unknown number of similar killings take place each year. Deckhands on ships from which the video was shot told a private investigator, and later a documentary crew on camera, that they'd witnessed a similar slaughter a week before. Let that sink in. The people told cameramen that they'd seen something exactly like this or similar a week before. So, how often does it happen? We may never know, because dead men tell no tales and live ones shouldn't. Wang Fengyu, believed to have been the captain of the Taiwanese flag PINGSHIN 101 during the attack, was taken into custody by the Taiwanese Coast Guard in August after his current ship docked at Kaohsiung port. He's being held while prosecutors investigate. Now that we have the captain, we have a more direct way of questioning him about the whole ordeal, Zhang Qingya, spokesman for the Kaohsiung District Prosecutor's Office, told the Central News Agency in Taiwan. Su Hengju, the deputy chief prosecutor in Kaohsiung, told the Washington Post that such investigations normally take 6 to 8 months. It depends on the case, but it won't take too long. He declined to say whether prosecutor Su Hengpin had interviewed witnesses. He said Wang has a lawyer, but he declined to identify him. There's the ship. That's the one we're using here for the background here. You can that's my background, this picture right here. The footage shot from the PINGSHIN in what appears to be an aftermath of a wreck is chilling. All right, yeah, so there's wreckage. There's wreckage floating in the water and people on the wreckage or swimming around the wreckage. Don't know how the wreckage got there. One man in the water raises his arms over his head, palms open, in what looks like an attempt to surrender. A bullet drills into the back of his head, knocking him face down. His body floats, lifeless. Gunmen with semi-automatic weapons appear to fire at least 40 rounds. I've shot 5, one shouts in Mandarin. Trigmat Tracking, a Norwegian research firm that focuses on maritime crime, identified the PINGSHIN 101 by comparing video footage with images in a maritime database. There are lots and lots of these maritime databases and ship tracking sites out there. You can reverse search them. If you get any information from the ships, you can compare pictures. And if you run names, you can get some, depending on where you go and how much you want to pay, you can get some incredibly detailed information. I mean, you can get information about the ownership, the history of the ship, its repairs, where it's flagged, the weight, the size of it. And some of the tracking sites go into details of where was the last port, when did it leave that port, what's its next registered port of call, what the speed is. It'll do real-time tracking with radar. So once you find the ship, once you find out what ship it is, you can start to kind of zero in on where it is and who was on the ship at the time. You just check the metadata, or maybe it was just even indexed according to date. But once you know the date and you know the ship, you can tell who was on it, and then you start asking questions. Former deckhands were identified through Facebook. See, you kind of got half of the equation there. Every picture you've ever posted online is somewhere. Just keep that in mind. Anybody who logs into anything, anybody who turns on a computer with a camera on it, I think you just have to assume that somebody's watching and someone is storing. All right, so these deckhands were identified through Facebook posts and other social media platforms where they had discussed their time on board. Yep. Oh yeah, that was so fun. Remember when we were on the PINGSHIN 101 and we were saying, like, hey, well, now we know who was on the PINGSHIN 101. Congrats. You can get crew lists and everything like that if you want them. So interviews with these former deckhands, some of whom said they witnessed the killings captured in the video, revealed the name of the captain and details of the incident. Again, you put pressure into someone, you put enough pressure on someone, they're gonna rat you out. And that's what happened. Oh yeah, we were just deckhands. You want the captain? You don't want me. So they narc out the captain and the details of the incident. Officials from the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission, which licenses commercial fishing in the region where the killings occurred, and the Taiwanese Flag Registry, which is responsible for enforcing laws on Taiwanese flagged ships, declined to provide information about the crews, the captain of the scene, the ship's routes, or their recent ports of call. Again, go to places like marinetraffic.com. You can pay some cash and get all that information. Well, how much for the woman? Bathe her. Bring her to me. James Andrew Morrison. If you're performing illegalities, put your camera away. Yeah. First, don't do illegal stuff ever. But if you do, don't record it. But yeah, that's thankfully they did, or they would still they'd all be living their normal lives today, most likely. We got one more super chat here from Everybody Loves Cthulhu, and everybody does love Cthulhu. I don't know if you can see it here or not. Let me be like full rando here. Everybody Loves Cthulhu. Love the hat, Jeff. And this is for the unexplained stream, which I can never catch live. Just finished it now, and the special guest Farina was 1,000 times better than Farron. Yeah, we had a lot of plans for that. It was supposed to have been much funnier than it was, but time constraints didn't allow that. But thanks. And Cthulhu, everybody does love Cthulhu. I don't know if we can see it here. Oh yeah, there's my that's actually a really big painting. It's just that wall is really far away. That's my picture of Cthulhu chasing the vessel in the Call of Cthulhu. It's a beautiful painting by a Frenchman named Francois Berenger. It's absolutely gorgeous. Go check out Francois Berenger. He does a lot of fantasy art and things and horror art. Great guy. Back to the story. Sorry for that little random departure there, but everybody does love Cthulhu, and everyone should love Cthulhu. All right, so there we go. Taiwanese officials presented with the names of the men and ships in 2015 and 2016 said the victims appeared to be part of a failed pirate attack. Appeared to be part of a failed pirate attack, according to the Taiwanese officials. Zhu Yate, then the director of the Taiwanese fisheries agencies, questioned whether the killings were murder. Well, we'll let you be the judge of that. We don't know what happened, Tsay said at the time, so there's no way for us to say whether it's legal. I'm just going to go out on a limb and to say there's very few places out in the world where taking pot shots at someone floating in wreckage would be legal. Regardless of, even if they were pirates and had tried to board your vessel, you may not have any, you may or may not, depending, have a duty to try to rescue them. You do have a duty, you do have a right to defend yourself. But yeah, when you're just sort of literally shooting ducks in a pond, probably not a lot legal about that. This is Alden, a cook on the PINGSHIN 101, brandishes a rifle. But maritime security analysts caution that the claims of piracy has been used to justify attacks undertaken to counter a range of offenses, real or otherwise. I'm not gonna mention any specific countries, but there's a big, large red one over in Asia that they have been known to attack other vessels that interfere with their fishing, whether they have fishing rights or not. There's a lot of shenanigans that go on out in the middle of the ocean, especially with fishing boats. Fishing boats have a real bad reputation. It seems like the smaller the fishing boat gets, the worse the reputation is for the shenanigans that go on. I mean, you get people deliberately trying to sink other vessels, people, stealing pots and things. I mean, it's real and it does happen. So we don't know if these people were really pirates or if they were just simply fishermen that were interfering with this particular fishing boat. It's hard to say, because apparently they only took videos of the shootings and not what led up to the shootings. Perhaps that makes it a little more suspicious. I don't know. But yeah, the Taiwanese fishing people said it was pirates, so I can't contradict it. But the maritime security analysis do point out that stranger things have happened and worse things have happened for a lot less, for imaginary offenses. The victims, they say, might have been crew members who had mutinied, certainly a possibility, thieves caught stealing, could be, or simply rival fishermen. Very likely, I think. They could have been pirates too. We just don't know. It's nearly impossible to police the open ocean, and sometimes people take matters into their own hands, as was the case here, said Klaus Luthe, vice president of the International Organization of Masters, Mates, and Pilots, a seafarers union. He noted that the men appeared to be unarmed and defenseless and not posing a threat, which goes back to what I'm saying. It didn't seem too legal to me. Whether this was some sort of vigilante justice or cold-blooded killings for reasons unknown, he said, we see clearly it is a vicious murder at sea. Such killings will continue to go unchecked, Luthe said, without better tracking of offshore violence, more transparency from fish registries and fishing companies, and more effort by governments to prosecute the perpetrators. That's also one of the things. You have to convince, for example, in this case, it was a Taiwanese vessel. You would have to convince the Taiwanese government to investigate this and then to prosecute them. I mean, what evidence do you have? A videotape is some pretty darn good evidence. But I mean, in a normal circumstance where someone wouldn't videotape you murdering a bunch of people, what evidence would you have? So you don't have a lot of evidence. It didn't affect anybody in your country. It was out on the high seas. You don't know anybody. It may be hard to motivate a government to investigate and prosecute such cases. Prosecuting such matters. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. And the Fed says often that certain red country uses fishing boats as branches of their military to harass countries such as the Philippines, Japan, and Korea through ramming ships and overfishing. Absolutely correct. You are dead spot on, so to speak. Prosecuting such crimes matters, U.S. Naval Academy historian Claude Berube said, because what occurs at sea affects everyone. By some estimates, 90% of the world trade is moved by sea. Seafood is a major source of protein for much of the world. That part sounds like a high school book report or a high school report. If dumping oil intentionally, fishing in prohibited waters, enslaving deckhands, or killing on camera goes unpunished, Berube said, ship operators who are willing to break the law gain a competitive advantage. Absolutely true. Dumping oil intentionally in the sea is a big problem. Fishing in prohibited waters is a huge problem. Enslaving deckhands, that sounds crazy. I mean, you've heard the, I was shanghaied. That's actually a term. What does it mean to be shanghaied? That was a thing in Shanghai. That was, Shanghai is a huge, massive port. It was a huge, massive port for hundreds of years. They needed deckhands. People get drunk in bars, or, you drug them with opium or whatnot. They lose consciousness. They wake up in the middle of the ocean on a boat. You have just been shanghaied. For those of you that didn't know, that's where that term to be shanghaied comes from. To find yourself waking up on a boat after you were in Shanghai at some point. So enslaving deckhands is an extremely, extremely common thing in some parts of the world. And what does it mean to be enslaved? Well, you have a company, one company that has one country or one particular area that has more money than another. Say country A has rich fishing companies. Rich fishing company from country A goes to very, very, very poor country B, gets a bunch of crewmen, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 crewmen to work on the fishing boat. You take them out to the ocean. You don't pay them. You don't let them off the boat. They're essentially slaves. A friend of mine in New Zealand a few years ago, she was dealing for more than a year to help some Indonesian fishermen that were essentially being held captive on a ship, trying to get off the vessel and get their back pay. She was successful. You can search that online. If you just search like something online, like New Zealand or Indonesian fishing boats or something like that, you can read more about what she did. But that is not an uncommon thing. It's much more common than you think. That it's essential. It's forced labor. We wouldn't call it enslaving deckhands, but that's what it is. So he said lawlessness, and see that's what he means by having the competitive advantage. If you're living by the law, you're paying good wages, you're paying for airplane flights home, airplane flights to wherever you're getting on the vessel, you give them good food, you give them bonuses. Your advantage on the market is lower than those who just enslave people and don't pay them, give them crap food, and never let them off the ship because they don't have to pay the wages, they don't have to pay for the flights, they don't have to pay for the good food, they don't have to give the bonuses. So they have it's more profitable for them. That's why he's saying we need this to be punished. James Andrew Morrison, I was told Kiwis make poor fishermen as they can't shear the fish. Oh, being shanghaied happened on the West Coast too. Oh yeah. Being finding yourself forced into labor on a fishing boat or a commercial boat has pretty much happened everywhere where there are ports and commercial fishing boats. He said lawlessness at sea makes consumers complicit in human rights and environmental abuses. The public should be concerned with crimes at sea because those crimes don't start or stop at sea. Barub said they have land-based networks that affect lives and economies. But law-breaking can be counted. Dang, I'm doing great today. But law-breaking can be countered only when it's reported. And that rarely happens offshore. Yeah, don't want to get involved. Shipping and fishing companies, maritime insurers, private security firms, embassies, and flag registries track violence at the sea to varying degrees. But there's no single comprehensive, centralized, or public database. Maximo, a crew member of the PINGSHIN 101, says he witnessed the shootings. The Stable Seas program of the Colorado-based One Earth Future Foundation has been granted access to much of that information. Former U.S. Navy officer John Huggins, a senior advisor to the program, says the data includes a variety of crimes: robbers, siphoning fuel, hijackings, human trafficking, piracy. When program officials tried to persuade the group that gathered the data to make it available to the public, Huggins said, they pushed back. Oh, it's our data. It's proprietary. We don't want to give it to you. We scoured it up. We scrounged it up. We gathered it together. Why should we just give it to you? Money, money, money. Risk management companies asked why they should share data that they could sell instead. And I agree with that. I have a friend who is a risk assessment analysis guy. That's what he does for high profile targets around the world. He does advanced security. He does advanced risk management and puts in security steps in place to deal with these things. He has an immense database of information that he has culled and spent $1 bajillion getting, and absolutely sell it. If you want it, buy it. It took him money to get it. It took him years to get it. It took him experience to get it. I have no problem with people not giving away what they do for free. That's capitalism, folks. But coastal states worried it might scare away business. Flag registries were reluctant to lease information that might oblige them to act, which they had little motivation or ability to do. Yeah, if you start saying, here's all of the data we have on things that are being done illegally in our jurisdiction, then you start going, okay, well, there's 50 things here that you've given us, but only one has been dealt with. What did you do about the other 49? And then that puts them in an awkward position. Complaints of crime at sea are rare. Barub lists the reasons, and these are all legit reasons. Many ships lack the insurance that would make reporting worthwhile. Captains resist prying investigations that can cause delays. You are on tight time schedules. Every day you're late to a port can cost you thousands, or tens of thousands. There's some ships that will have daily hire rates of $85,000 a day. So basically, you're renting a boat at $85,000 a day. You're late by 2 days. That's $170,000 you've lost just on late fees, essentially. Most countries lack blue water navies or coast guards that patrol beyond their territorial limits. They have neither the financial ability to patrol international waters of uncertain jurisdiction, nor much interest in doing so. We saw those challenges with Somali piracy a decade ago, Barub said. Merchant ships were largely told they were on their own, and they took private security teams in the absence of national or international support. Orange is the way. Wow. Hey. I just realized I had a dream of Jeff last night. Lol. Hey. Well, I hope it was a good one. Orange is the way. All right. All right, there we go. Here's the Chun-E 2017 was also at the scene. Yep. Don't see, they're all watching the same thing that everybody else is watching. Just a few little murders going on out in the water. Nonetheless, much has been learned about the 2012 killing. Now back to the case at hand. 2 Filipino deckhands on the PINGSHIN 101 named Aldrin and Maximo, those are the 2 pictures we just saw, who use only one name. Yeah, I wouldn't tell some rando my last name either. Told a private investigator on camera that they witnessed the killings. In the video of the incident, Maximo can be seen smiling and posing for selfies after the shooting. He wears an oversized blue t-shirt that reads Hang 10. A deckhand on the Chun-E 628, another ship at the scene, also described the incident. The PINGSHIN was fishing in the Indian Ocean, somewhere between Somalia and the Seychelles. So in the Seychelles, sorry. In August 2012, Aldrin and Maximo told private investigator Karsten von Hosselen in videotaped interviews when it received a radio alert that a nearby ship had come under attack by pirates. It was unclear which ship was being attacked. There was yelling back and forth, the witness said. The supposed pirates in a smaller boat seemed to be unarmed. Well, first rule of piracy, be armed. If you're an unarmed pirate, you're not a good pirate. Now, lots of pirates are unlegged, but they get pegs for those. Not pegged, they get pegs for their legs. Before any of you start down that path. Deckhands aboard the PINGSHIN 101 opened fire, and the men in the boat leapt into the water. Some began yelling that they were not a threat. No Somali, one deckhand heard them say. No pirates. Could they have been a fishing vessel? They just got a little too close and didn't speak Chinese. Could be. Renee, I said, don't go down that path. Josh, you too. Pirate Baldo. No, stop. We're not going there. Stop it. Yeah, you beat me to the pegging punchline. Whatevs. All right. I told, look, you degenerate children, I say don't go down that path. So that means that all 362 of you start going down that path. I should have known better. It's all my fault. So, all right, anyway, these people that are being shot at are saying we're not Somali, we're not pirates, we're not posing a threat. Well, it seems something was lost in translation or someone didn't give a shit. Wang was the captain of the PINGSHIN 2. Sorry, we have dealt with a ship named Pingyang. That just keeps coming to my head. Wang was the captain of the PINGSHIN 101. He was in his 30s, young for a captain. He had a dragon tattoo on his left arm. Deckhands called him Captain Hoodlum. Well, there you go. Peg me all night long. Ha. Just kidding, Jeff. That's a great song by AC/DC. You peg me all night long. Anyway, he had a dragon tattoo on his left arm. Deckhands called him Captain Hoodlum. That's not the best thing I guess he'd want to be called unless he wanted to be a hoodlum. Look, it looks like COVID has like little eyes and little nose there. How cute is that? He was a rough guy. One told von Hosling, director of a security company called the Remote Operations Agency. He hits people. Oh my gosh, the physical abuse that's on some of these lower end fishing operations is astounding. The brutality on some of these fishing boats is just unreal. George Bonnie says, I'm here for the degenerates. Yeah, well, it seems we all are. Oh, see, there we go. Did you hear my mic? Just the gain just went all the way up to 100 because it's possessed. All right, get you back down there. Aldrin and Wang had a ferocious temper. Aldrin said Wang had a ferocious temper. He punched, then kicked if you did a mistake. It's a real thing. According to ship tracking records, the 165-foot PINGSHIN 101 was owned by a Shanghai business executive named Li Chaoping, principal of the PINGSHIN Fishery Co. Ltd. in Kaohsiung. Efforts to reach Li were unsuccessful. Online records show that the business closed in 2018. A security guard at its former address said in September that there was a PINGSHIN fishery in the building some years ago, but the office had since closed. Interpol said a private investigation firm that specializes in maritime crime have also been unable to find Li. He's missing in action. Where could he be? Interpol and a private investigation firm that specializes in maritime crime have also been unable to find Li. Duncan Cavino said he worked on the PINGSHIN 101 when it docked in Mombasa, Kenya in 2013. Said it fished mostly in Somali waters, but reported that its catch came from the Seychelles waters, where he said it had a license. He's probably Bitcoin mining. The PINGSHIN 101. Rubber Kidney says, I just keep hearing pig shit fisheries. The PINGSHIN 101 and the Chun-Yi, not Chun-Li, the Chun-Yi 628 had 3 armed guards each, all Pakistani, the witnesses said. The video shows at least 4 men being killed, but Aldrin and Maximo said it's likely that more were shot, possibly 10 to 15. See, I don't know. I haven't heard of a pirate vessel that would have 10 to 15 people on it. Usually they tend to be very, very small, very, very well armed, and very, very quick. What kind of a boat would have 10 to 15 people on it? Fishing boats? Speculation, pure speculation on my part, but fishing boats? Yeah. The witnesses said the victims probably weren't pirates. Only fishing equipment on their boat. They did not have any guns, only fishing equipment on their boat, Maximo said. See, here we go. Even Maximo is saying They probably weren't pirates unless they were fish pirates because they had fishing equipment and no guns. See, this is sounding a lot like an intentional ramming of a competing fishing boat. And I mean, you have an obligation to rescue them. So what do? Apparently, you just get rid of them so you don't have to save them. It was wrong. People getting shot, but there was nothing I could do about it. Yeah, you say something, and you're getting shot next. Nor was it an isolated incident. A similar confrontation occurred a week earlier, Aldrin said. The circumstances he described on camera for a documentary series were virtually the same. Alleged pirates were rammed, shot, and killed, their bodies left floating in the water. Alleged pirates. A video that apparently captured the earlier attack was discovered by Trigmat Tracking, the Norwegian research film. Why are you filming these? Well, first of all, I mean, why are you doing these things, you sick degenerate freak? But if you are a sick degenerate freak and you're doing these things and you intend not to get caught, why are you filming them? The PINGSHIN 101 eventually ended up on the ocean floor. Well, good. The vessel sank on July 7, 2014, less than 2 years after the shootings captured on the video. Wang, still the captain, broadcast a distress signal, citing a mechanical failure. Something exploded, one crew member said on camera. Taiwanese authorities issued an arrest warrant for Wang in December 2018. So in August 2018, prosecutors got their big break. A tuna longliner called the Indian Star, owned by a Taiwanese company and flagged to Seychelles, arrived in Kaohsiung. The fishing ship had a history of violations, including using forged licenses in fishing in forbidden areas. More important to authorities, though, was the man who captained the vessel. Wang Fengyu stepped ashore and was arrested. The end of that particular article. Whew. So yeah, that's a rough situation. It took them 4 years after they found the video, 6 years after the killing, to find the guy, to find the captain that allegedly gave the orders. And I think that's a fascinating bit of detective work, to just find a random phone in the back of a taxi in Fiji in 2014. And although it took 4 years to track down the vessel, the owners, the location of the master, and to arrest the captain of the ship. Let's see if we make sure we got all the super chats out of the way here before we jump into the next part of the story. This is a 3-part story. Yep, I think we have all of ye oldie super chats here. All right, yes, we do. All right, what do we got here? Is there a musical of the story yet? Not yet. I'm sure there will be soon, though. And what brought this up to me is there's a let me see if I can get the link here, and I will post it in the chat, where you can learn much more about this case. There's a brand new series of podcasts dealing with things that happen at sea. I wish it was a video, because if it was a video, we would just watch it. But it's just an audio podcast. Oh, that document no longer exists. Great. Let me pull up this document here while I shake out the tension in the joints before we jump into the second part of the story. Where are my topics? Going down to Maritime Monday. All right. I'm going to right here post the link for the podcast. It's called The Outlaw Oceans. I think it's a 6 or 7 part series. I just posted it in the chat. So if you want to, they're about an hour long each. So if you want to go and deep dive into this by the people that are making that made this documentary that they're talking about, they're releasing podcasts of their investigations. Are we having buffering issues, people? I haven't noticed anything here on my end, which is a first. Wait, what? Camulus Mars? What are the shipping costs for the woman? I live in Logan, Utardia. You live in Logan? Well, that's pretty dang sweet. Huh. Welcome, hometown homie. We have we have people here from my hometown. We have people from just over the hill in Brigham City. Swan Lake lady, she's over the hill there in Brigham City. So we're all homies over here. I did not know you lived in Logan. Wow. What's up, homie? You heard the In-N-Out Burger opened last month. So there's an In-N-Out. They were building my hometown's first In-N-Out Burger while I was on vacation. It was supposed to open the day I got there, but they delayed it for about 3 weeks, and they opened it a couple days after I left from my vacation. So I didn't get to eat at the In-N-Out Burger in Logan, Utah. Sadness. Well, welcome aboard here, Camulus Mars. Huh. Alrighty then. Did your dads go to school together? Probably. If he was born and raised there, there's very, very, they either went to school together or they played football against each other. That's just it. There's nothing else to do in Logan, Utah back in the day. All right. So let's see how we're doing here. We've got 370 of you here now and 257 likes. So it's time for the midstream grift. Grift away, Jeff. That's what I'm going to do. Hit that like button. 100 of you we can bring this up to 357 likes in an instant. If you just reach down there, take that half a millisecond that it takes to click on the like button and join the subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I would deeply appreciate it. Help this channel grow. That's what I'm here for, the growth of the channel and the entertainment of all of you. Notification button. It's YouTube. It works sometimes. It doesn't work sometimes. We just won't know. I get very, very few notifications for videos. I said I probably less than 50%, but hey, at least I get 50. Join the membership if you're so inclined. If you're occasionally people will give gift memberships, and if you're one of the lucky ones, you can snag them up in their random assignment. And super chats are the way to make sure I answer the questions, make sure I absolutely agree. Well, not agree. I address everything that you put in the super chats. Not required, certainly not refused, and always accepted with a grateful heart. With there being no super chats to get through, let's jump into the second part of this story. Just reading the chats here. All right. Done. This is how the mystery of the massacre. Flux, you make me laugh, you goof. Hi, Flux. Thanks for the super chat. There's Flux. This is what is known in the grifting business as priming the pump. She's thinking that if she primes the pump, the water will begin to flow. But the fastest way to do that is just to siphon it directly, just suck on the hose. But some people just aren't into that. It's how the mystery of the massacre at sea ultimate. Oh, there we go. Wait. Darrell on. Thank you so much. Love the pup. Always good to see the pup. Hi. It's good to be back. I missed you in the chat. We missed you and the puppy dog. I tell you, that's just like the happiest looking dog I ever did see. Flux is the best. In fact, thank you so much. But Darrell Ong is also the best. We're all the best here. See, Joe Choi. Jeff is a cool guy. I met him when he was here on vacation. Yes. I was passing through Swan Lake lady's town because I have to go through her town to get to my town from anywhere else. And met up this amazing diner, Peach City. They've been around for like 85 years. They make the best peach shakes you've ever had. They Peach Day celebration centers around them. Yeah, Flux is so not into sucking the hose. Well, it depends how you spell hose, right? See what I did there? Boom! I wish I could drop this mic. All right, sorry about that. Let's get. Now you've got me being all degenerate here. I'm kind of proud of that one. I make myself laugh. That's like the worst comedy ever when you make yourself laugh. Depends on how you spell hose. All right. Oh, see, this is a Flux approved joke. How the mystery of a massacre at sea. George Bonnie 90. Hi, Flux. Well, now we're getting dangerously close to shot territory. Not PINGSHIN 101 shot. This shot territory. We're closing in on the mark for gratuitous whiskey. And again, my Satan possessed microphone has put the gain all the way up to 100. So let's bump that back down so we get the soothing sounds of legal vices, easing you into your morning, your drive time hours. Here we go. Let's talk about murder. Dun, dun, dun. How the mystery of a massacre at sea ultimately led to a conviction. Spoiler alert. There has been a conviction in the case. Ooh, the wind is picking up. The door on the other end of my house just slammed and I felt it vibrate in the floor. Crimes like this don't often happen on land. There's going to be a little bit of overlapping detail here, but there's some new information in this. Crimes like this don't happen often on land. A 10-minute slow motion slaughter captured by a cell phone shows a group of unarmed men. Here is one of the unfortunately unarmed men that is out of the picture shortly, probably after this picture was taken. Nathan C. Hi, Flux and GB90. Oh, it's a great fest. Thank you for the super chat, Glenn. Glenn, why the fuck did I say Glenn? Where the hell did Glenn come from? There's not even a Glenn on my stream. What the hell? Anyway, Nathan C. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wow, I'm just making up names here. Joe Choi, I say drink. We're getting closer. Can't tell you how close, but we're getting closer. We're significantly closer than we was before everybody started saying hi to each other. Crimes like this don't happen often. A 10-minute slow motion slaughter captured by a cell phone camera shows a group of unarmed men at sea in an undisclosed location, possibly 15 of them being killed one by a semi-automatic weapon, after which the culprits pose for celebratory selfies. Glenn Fiddish. I'm hoping that's a fishing joke. I'm presuming that's a fishing joke and not just bad spelling. I'll be Glenn for a minute. Well, if we're into the Scotch, everybody can be Glenn. Yes. This case shows the challenge of prosecuting crimes on the high seas. There were at least 4 ships on the scene, but no law required any of the dozens of witnesses to report the killings. And no one did. Same thing we got in the last one. And no one did. Law enforcement in the open ocean is limited, and jurisdiction is complicated. Authorities learned of the killings only when the videos turned up on a cell phone in a taxi in Fiji in 2014. It's still unclear who the victims were or why they were shot. An unknown number of similar killings take place each year. Deckhands on the ship from which the video was shot later said they had witnessed a similar slaughter a week before. I mean, it just sounds like this ship is just going around the ocean blasting people, just like murdering people. D. Watt says, drink. like right there on the edge. After receiving the video from a source at Interpol in an email with the subject line, brace yourself. Yeah. If Interpol is sending you videos with subject lines like brace yourself, you know it can't be good. So after receiving the video from a source at Interpol in an email with the subject line brace yourself, the Outlaw Ocean Project, they're the ones that have the podcast that I sent the link for in chat, and I did it again. They got this video. They were the first people to get the video, and they were the one that started doing all of this. So they sent it to the Outlaw Ocean Project, a nonprofit journalism organization based in Washington, D.C., started an investigation that resulted in the 2021 conviction of Wang Fengyu, the captain of the Taiwanese flagged PINGSHIN 101, who was taken into custody by the Taiwanese Coast Guard in 2020. The details of this tireless investigation are chronicled in the first dramatic episode of the new podcast series, The Outlaw Ocean, from CBC Podcasts and the LA Times. Listen to it here. This one I just sent in. I just set that there into the chat. Oh, Regulator 30 says Legal Vice is just catching the replay. You've got a beautiful reading voice. Oh, well, thank you so much. You'll hear it in about an hour from now when I thank you for that. So that's the link I just sent. If you want to go listen to the entirety of the podcast, it's about 54 minutes, if I recall correctly. Trigmat Tracking, a Norwegian research firm that focuses on maritime crime, identified the PINGSHIN 101 by comparing video footage with images in a maritime database. Former deckhands. Oh, what's this? Got a. Thank you, Google Chrome, for sending me freaking technology. Google Chrome just sent me an alert saying that I'm reading this article and I should continue. Everybody's a critic. Just saying Wang is more entertaining. Yeah, it's Wang, but say Wang. That's what we'd say out there in Utah. Guy named Wang. So anyway, as I said, there's a lot of overlapping information, but the new information kind of makes the lengthy overlap work. Comparing former deckhands were identified through Facebook posts and on other social media platforms in which they had discussed their time on board. Interviews with these former deckhands, some of whom said they had witnessed the killings captured in the video, revealed the name of the captain and details of the incident. Taiwanese officials presented with the names of the men and ships in 2015 and 2016 said the victims appeared to be part of a failed pirate attack. But maritime security analysts cautioned that the claim of piracy has been used to justify attacks undertaken to counter a range of offenses, real or otherwise. They said they may have been a crew who simply mutinied. There's some photos celebrating on the deck of the boat, taking their selfies after the murders. Okay, I think the rest of there's a lot of the ship sunk, violations. More important to authorities, though, was the man who captained the vessel. Wang Fengyu stepped ashore, and 8 years after allegedly shouting the orders to kill in a grainy video, was finally arrested. The captain was shortly convicted and sentenced to 26 years in prison for the killing, bringing a dramatic end to the 7-year investigation. So the takeaway there is that he was caught, he was arrested, he was tried in Taiwan. Oh, and then he was sentenced to jail for 26 years for murder. I don't know what it is in Taiwan, but in Korea, a life sentence is 30 years. So if you kill someone and get a life sentence, that's 30 years. Hypershot, thank you so much for the Game Over Ghost Hippo sticker. That is deeply appreciated. And we are edging so close to a whiskey shot. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super sticker, same thing. All righty. A little more detail in the next section of the story here. As we pull it up, we're about 100 people behind on the likes. We've got 387 concurrent viewers and 296 likes. So in the 3 or 4 seconds it's going to take me to bring this up, you could all hit that like button and bring us up to easily 400 likes. If you were so inclined, I would love it. I would deeply appreciate it, and we would all be the better for it. Oh, and someone's it just flashed away. Someone mentioned Tug got his check mark. Boom. Yay, yay. Good job, Tug. We like us some Tugs. All righty. Moving on here into the last part of the story. And then we'll get on with just the watching some ships go bump in the night or daytime and some bad weather. Yeah. Medita says, Chrome needs to inform you in case you do not know what you are reading and are about to have a panic attack because you don't know what you're reading. So Chrome is just trying to help. Yes, they are. I should have read the alert. That was like the stupidest alert I have ever received on my computer. Tug's a blue check now. No, he got a blue check. He's not a blue check. Ha ha ha. Good one, Dig. Especially Tug's tits. Yeah. Well, like I was saying, I don't know what Taiwanese law is, but in Korea, a life sentence is 30 years. So, maybe it's 26 years in Taiwan. I don't know. I just have no idea why I got to, but let's figure it out here. Let's read this article and see if this sheds any more light and knowledge, because frankly, I can't remember. This was the first article I read, and it's been a while. See if we can bring up there we go. Workers at Kaohsiung Port. Completely unrelated to anything to do with this story. Just stock footage. Okay, there we are. D what in the house. D what broke the seal. We are now officially over the $100 super chat mark. Hopefully this will tip it over. It did, with just a bee's dick of width to spare. So thank you very much. This is the famous grouse, a former favorite of Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II. It has a royal. If you look here, you can see the royal seal on the bottle here. It says her appointment, by appointment to Her Majesty the Queen, Scotch Whiskey Blenders, Matthew Glogan Sons Ltd. So they have the Royal Commission there, and that was Her Royal Highness's deal. But now the interesting thing is she's dead, so they've lost that, and so now Famous Grouse is going to have to go and redo all of their labels on all of their bottles. It'll be interesting to see what the bottle looks like without that official appointment. All right, random whiskey detail of the day. Thank you so much. Again, the first rando shot of the day. Wow, that was like a double. I'm just excited. Chat, you're the best chat on the internet. The Vice Squad rules. Here's to the Vice Squad. Without you, there would be no me. There would be no channel. There would be no LawTube. There would not even be a reason for YouTube or the internet itself. You all are the foundation of the universe. That was a little bit excessive, but cheers to all of you, and thank you so much for the generous super chats and super stickers this evening. Yeah, that was a 2 swallow. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Out. That was Did the Queen have an approved malt liquor? Well, this is a blended Scotch, so it's a blend of single malts. This was hers, and there was another one that she had that I can't for the life of me think of it suddenly. But His Royal Highness. Apologies. His Royal Highness King Charles III has he's given his royal appointment to Lafroig. He's a Lafroig 15 year is his personal fave. So yeah, there's a, can't remember what the Queen's other one was, but King Charles is Lefroy, with Lefroy 15 being his fave. So thank you very much. Let's get back into the fishing story here. Whew, that was a double. Here's to E2R wherever she is. Whew. Good thing that was only 40%. That was 2 big swallows. All right. Kaohsiung District Court on Friday, January 29th. There goes the Satan microphone again. There we go. Bump us back down to 30 decibels. John Byrne, just wondering on how you started YouTube and if you have any tips. I was thinking of starting a channel for streaming. Being Maritime Monday, and that would be way too off the rails to get into that. But by all means, join on Friday for, we're not 2 hours into it, so we still have to call it the F It Friday stream. F It Friday, this F It Friday will start at 8 p.m. Eastern and go until I am unconscious. It's my 25,000 subscriber griftathon where we grift for $100 shots all night long, not just once or twice a show. It's all about the money on this Friday, but it's all done in fun. It's all good fun. Everybody likes the drink stream. We talk about everything, which is why it's called F It Friday, because F it, monetization is out the window. We just grift hard. We grift for money. We grift for drinks. And we're going to have hopefully a host of YouTube personalities that have helped me on my journey and got me to where I am. I've sent out an absolute ton of invitations. I've got a lot of positive feedback. So we can have some really, really good guests here on Friday. And I will be definitely telling the story of how all of this started. With hopefully with the person who got me started, which is Andrew at Legal Mindset. It's his fault I'm here. So we will definitely talk about how I'm here and things like that, why I'm here and what to do on Friday. So please, please, please don't miss the Friday, F It Friday, 25,000 subscriber Griftapalooza drunk stream. It'll be fun. And hopefully we'll have lots of important guests. Literally every guest I have on is more important than me, but we'll do what we can. Flux took the day off for it. Holy crap. That scares me. What I normally do is I only drink on the $100 super chats, but because this is such a special thing, we'll keep the aggregator going too. I'll have to make like something behind me, like an aggregator kind of wheel to keep track. But it'll be an aggregate thing too. So smaller super chats and super stickers will contribute to the debauchery and shenanigans this Friday. But the Flux has been known to throw down some cash, as has Brendan Lesko and moderator Steph. They're the ones that get me in trouble. Now, see, this is the thing. Mofox said LawTube needs collectible shot or whiskey glasses. I have scoured and scoured and scoured the internet for, that's what I want to do for Legal Vices merch. I want to do like ashtrays, whiskey glasses, shot glasses, things like that. But I need it to be somewhere where they just do it like on an ad hoc basis, where someone orders, they make it and send it out. Kind of like spring, whoever the hell they are, does with Spring Tea, they do with the t-shirts. You order it, they make it and send it out. I don't need to order 5,000 shot glasses, have it sent to my house, and then have to ship it out to you. I just need some sort of place that's going to say, okay, let's put the Legal Vices logo on it and send it out. I have not been able to find one of those places. If there's something like that out there, we will have merch in a heartbeat, but it's kind of hard to do that, I guess. So, all right, Julie, oh, son of a, you're an hour late. Hey, there's an hour to catch up. We're still talking about the first story. So, yeah, I want to do ashtrays, shot glasses, the tasting glasses, rocks glasses, beer steins, anything that has to do with vices, except for Baldos. Don't need to do Baldos. Keep that out of your minds, you degens. All right, and Mega Pint shot glasses, yeah, things like that. But There needs to be a place to get them. See, that's what I want. Yeah, there used to be it used to be called Bespoke Trading. Now it's Amazon. Yeah. All righty. Yeah, I mean that's what I want, like cigar cut. I want things like that, but there's nowhere that does them on a bespoke as you order them basis. So I'm still looking. There might still be something out there, but it's difficult to find. Koreans do not have sex dolls. In fact, during oh God, Barney, I apologize to everyone for not finishing this story right now, but Barney Yamam has sent me off down the rabbit hole. Korean sex doll merch, Jeff. During COVID, people weren't allowed to attend the baseball games here. The baseball stadiums were closed. Then they started letting in 10% of the people, and around the world, they were putting up like cardboard cutouts and things of people, fans, and then they're putting shirts and jerseys and things. Well, somebody here got it into their idea that they would fill a section of the stands with sex dolls, like like Phil would make. Like real live, real expensive, real sex dolls, not the blow up variety, the real variety. Dude got in trouble for doing that because that's not something you're supposed to do here. there was like 10 sex dolls out in the stand. Oh, I'll have to see if I'm going to write that down for F Friday. Oh, I don't have a pen here handy with me. Someone do me a favor and send me a message either to Twitter or an email to thelegalvices@gmail.com to remind me to do the story about sex dolls at Korean baseball games. That would be that's a perfect F at Friday story. That's what we do on F at Friday. Stories like that. Yeah, so somebody please do that. Now I know I'm going to get like 800 emails and things like that, but that's what we're going to be doing. Julio, where'd your super chat go? Here we are. We'll do this, then we'll jump back in the story. Julio, a friend of mine from high school, had a bowl that was phallic. A phallic bowl. A bowl, not like a fruit bowl, a bowl. The weed went in the balls and smoked out of the peen end. Yeah, I've seen those. Legal Vices Merkins. Oh, God. Yeah, but Julio, that's... yeah, I've kind of seen they make cigars. I mean, pipes like that too. I'm thinking, yeah, not for me. Yeah. Notes on a phone. Legal Vices now gets 50 DMs, starting with sex doll room. I've doomed myself to some really, really bad margin ads for the next 3 months. All right. With that out of the way, let's get back into the story here. Really apologize for that. See, even Satan that's in my microphone didn't like that. Let's bring it back down. Dong bongs. Isabel Rennie, oh my God, we used to sell dong bongs where I worked. No, dong bong is not. Anyway, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Wang Fengyu, 43, was convicted of homicide and for violations of the Controlling Guns, Ammunition, and Knives Act. The court said the incident took place on board the Kaohsiung registered longliner PINGSHIN number 101 when it was operating in the Indian Ocean off the Somali coast on September 29th, 2012. Sell the hat you're wearing? No thanks. This is an amazing Polish fisherman captain's hat that I got from the people at Sterkowski in Poland who makes the Polish fisherman's hat. No way I'm ever selling this hat. Oh, here we go. All right. Wong said 2 Pakistani mercenaries he hired as the acting captain of the PINGSHIN. Okay. Punctuation is important. Wong asked 2 Pakistani mercenaries that he hired as the acting captain of the PINGSHIN to fire at and kill 4 suspected Somali pirates that day, the court said. Wong, a Zhejiang native, was hired by a Kaohsiung company to serve as acting captain of the Taiwan fishing vessel in 2011. Prosecutors did not name the Taiwan company or its owner. We did in our last article. and the court sentencing documents also did not provide such information. However, CNA and other Taiwanese media have learned that the company that hired the captain is PINGSHIN Fishery Co. Ltd. International maritime safety groups and Greenpeace had long suspected the boat in question to be the Taiwanese registered PINGSHIN, and had urged the Taiwanese government to question its owner and solve the murder mystery. Prosecutors, however, had said their investigations were complicated by the fact that the crew was not in Taiwan. Bell, get out of there. Great. All right, let's have to work around the bell. It's starting to annoy me. So prosecutors, however, had said their investigations were complicated by the fact that the crew was not in Taiwan. One of the boats that was operating in close enough proximity to witness the shooting, however, was also a Taiwanese registered vessel. According to the court, on September 29, 2012, the PINGSHIN was operating in the Indian Ocean about 595 kilometers southeast of the Somali capital of Mogadishu, where it, along with the Kaohsiung registered Chun-E number 217 and two other unidentified fishing boats, were fired on by a pirate ship with 4 pirates, or 15, depending who you ask. After the ships were fired on, one of them decided to ram into the pirate ship, which caused it to overturn and sent 4 pirates into the ocean. Despite knowing the pirates had no way to fight back, Wang instructed the 2 mercenaries to shoot and kill the 4 men in the water. The killings only became known to the public 2 years later, when a 10-minute video clip of the fatal shootings was circulated on the internet in August 2014. After the phone used to film the murders was found in a taxi in Fiji. After the phone was found, an anonymous person, perhaps the finder, discovered the video and posted it on YouTube. In the video, a man believed to be the captain is heard giving directions in Mandarin with a mainland Chinese accent over a loudspeaker to the crew as 40 rounds of live ammunition are fired. The 4 unarmed men in the water are shot to death one by one. With the video showing the water turning red around them, no images of the shooters are seen. Open to appeal. Prosecutors say that they spent time trying to track down the vessel, but the captain never reported for questioning, so a warrant for his arrest was issued on December 28, 2018. It's unclear why they waited until 2018 to issue a warrant for his arrest when maritime safety groups had long suspected the boat was involved and had linked to the fishing company. Drunk Jeff is truly the funniest. It's the funnest fun. I love it truly. Well, Friday, I hope. Alrighty. Okay, 2016, Greenpeace highlighted the case in its report on human and labor rights abuses in Taiwan's fishing industry. Wang was arrested on August 22, 2020, after the ship he was in charge of, the Seychelles-flagged Indian Star, docked at Kaohsiung Port. He has been in custody ever since. He was subsequently indicted by Kaohsiung prosecutors following an end to their investigation last October. Although Wang is a Chinese national and the crime occurred in the Indian Ocean, Taiwanese prosecutors are able to prosecute him because the shootings originated on a Taiwanese vessel. That's an important thing to note about the flagging of a vessel. Every vessel is registered in some country, and you fly that country's flag. And on the ocean, out there in the middle of the ocean, your vessel is, if you're flying a Taiwanese flag, your vessel is essentially Taiwanese land. So Taiwanese law and Taiwanese jurisdiction apply. If you have a U.S. flagged ship, then that is the United States of America on that ship. If you have a freak flag, then the law of freaks, I guess, are applicable. On Friday, the district court ruled, and this is January, on Friday, the district court ruled that the killing of the unarmed men showed that he clearly had no respect for human life. The ruling can be appealed. And that's the end of that article. D what? Friday, he says. Bring in Brandon and Steph right now. I'll pitch in. Let's get Jeff drunk today. No, let's wait until Friday. We don't want to be too crazy. Friday's the grift stream. This is just the relaxing stream, where if we just happen to hit every $100 mark, we just take a little drinky poo. But this is not a drunk stream. Every stream is technically a grift stream, but this is not a drunk stream. Now, we're about 30 minutes faster than I thought we would be. I was hoping to be right at the 2-hour mark right now, but I've tried to ramble a little less than I usually do, and I guess we're tightened up. For better or worse, this is a part of the video. We're not going to play the whole thing, but if you're squeamish about these things, you're going to want to turn away for a couple of minutes, or just, listen on audio and close your eyes. This isn't too graphic, but it is. It's, it depends where your graphic limit is. For me, it's watchable, but we're not going to watch the whole thing. Just kind of let you see firsthand from the Washington Post what these guys were up to.
On board the PINGSHIN 101, a Taiwanese tuna boat, somewhere in the Indian Ocean between Somalia and the Seychelles. At least 4 men are killed on camera. In interviews, deckhands said that it's likely more were shot and killed, possibly 10 to 15.
And that's all of that we're going to watch, because this guy bites it really shortly thereafter. But yeah, that just shows that, when I say they were taking pot shots at the people, that's literally what I mean. Love the shirt, says Vicky T. Thanks. It's the it's my shirt today. Yeah. So yeah, and this is how the stream gets yeeted. I mean, it's not a pleasant video to watch. But when I said that they were just taking pot shots, that's literally what I meant. They're just floating on the wreckage of whoever they were, whether they were pirates or fishermen or people that were lost out on the ocean, whoever they were just massacred, just gunned down by the crew of this ship that apparently did the same thing to another ship a week before. I mean, it's kind of spooky. I mean, when you think about it, it's just this ship roaming the ocean, blasting people. That's the case portion of today's show. For the next 30 minutes, we'll just go through here and watch some ship collision videos. Somehow, one of the videos I had, the window has closed, I believe. Is that it? That's not it. That window. All right, we'll just have to go into the browser history and bring up the window. Yeah, I mean, these are stories you wouldn't have heard these stories if someone hadn't lost their cell phone in the back of a taxi in Fiji 2 years later. This would still be some random enigma that nobody's ever heard of. Somewhere, someplace, people didn't come home from their boating expedition, their fishing trip, their pirate trip, whatever it was. Somebody didn't come back home. And we never would have known about it if this hadn't happened. Just this random thing leads to these discoveries. Hang on here. Let me pull these up real quick. History. Is that it? That is it. All right. We are locked and loaded. This will get us through the last 30 minutes, and then we'll call it a night. But first, we'll do this. Then we'll kind of give you the rundown of Statuesque Miss, welcome. I know I would never hear these stories without this stream. I don't know if that's good or bad. Don't show your browser history, Jeff. Now, this browser history is clean. If someone ever finds my phone in the back of a taxi, delete everything on that phone, please. Thank you very much in advance. Oh, Nathan has a good question. Okay. Let me find Nathan's good question. Nathan C. Thank you so much again for the questions. Does the same apply aboard cruise ships? If they're flagged in Bahamas, the rules of the Bahamas are controlling regardless of where the ship is. It depends, or usually on what your ticket says. The cruise ships, all of that stuff on the back actually means things. All of the small print means things. It'll most likely have a arbitration clause and something that says you have to go to somewhere really, really inconvenient, and the laws of that really, really inconvenient place will govern. Now, like a cruise ship or a crewman on board a vessel, that's kind of a different situation. With the cruise ship, you're buying a ticket, and there will be this governing law provision on your ticket. If you're a crewman working on a fishing boat or a container vessel or something, you'll have an employment contract, and your employment contract will say what country's laws apply. But if there are no laws that apply, like, there's no contractual relationships, there's nothing, and two ships hit each other, then you have to decide which vessel's flag applies to what part of the dispute. It's a really, like they're saying in the articles, it's a really, really complex thing. If the collision happens in the territorial waters of a country, likely that country's laws will apply. So let's say it's like Papua New Guinea. The ship happens in Papua New Guinea's waters. Papua New Guinea laws would usually apply. Now it's I don't want to get too technical and too nerdy for something this random, because nobody really cares. But if say a Korean ship hits a Japanese ship in the middle of the ocean, then you have to get into which law applies to which. And some of that's governed by conventions, international conventions, UN conventions. But some of it is just set down in that country's laws. Like Korea will say that if two ships hit each other and whoever has the most to blame, their laws will apply. It's really, there is no easy answer to this question. That's why we have lawyers. But basically, applying to passengers and employees on vessels, you're going to have whether you agreed to it or not, you agreed to it when you purchased the ticket. The small print will tell you which country's laws would apply. England is a common one. So just next time you go on a cruise, read the small print in the package deal or on the ticket, and it'll tell you. It should tell you which country's laws will apply if something bad happens to you while you're on the ship. Hope that was a semi-coherent answer to it was a simple question. It was a good question, but it's a ridiculously complex one to answer. Sorry about that. I just never know how much to nerd out on these things. I've seen too many horror stories to go on a cruise. Yeah, just make sure it's close to land. You should be okay. All right, let's bring up some fun stuff here, and by fun I mean accidents. This is again how we got started here doing all of this. Back in the first few weeks of Maritime Monday, we started doing ship collisions, just reviewing the videos, but there's not a whole bunch of ship collisions caught on film. So we started to overlap. Then we started to go into the deep dives into individual accidents, and we had some extra time to kill. So I had this up just in case, so that we could go back to our beginning and just look at some ships that go bump and some bad things that happen on board ships and give our comments. And again, as always, while I'm bringing this up, please hit that like button. We need to get to at least 400 likes on Maritime Monday. This is our least watched stream of the week, but it's like the dedicated followers. Those of you that love Maritime Monday, love Maritime Monday. Those of you that don't, just kind of stay away. But I'm happy you're here. I'm surprised there's this many here every week, but I'm happy you're all here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's go. This video here is called, let's see if we can make it bigger. Dang, people. There's such a thing as portrait mode. This is called the 30 biggest ship fails ever caught on camera, number 5. It's not the 30 biggest ship fails ever caught on camera, number 5. It's just some entertaining stuff.
This guy had one job, keeping a lookout, but he lays off too much. Look what happened.
Yeah, you don't want to hit that. You don't want to hit that bridge there, buddy. And this is just a guy who's trying to play it fast and loose. You've got a whole damn ocean on either side of you, but he's just cutting corners, literally. And if some of you have saw the case we did about the bridge in Florida, hitting one of those pillars can bring down an entire bridge. Go back through the Maritime Monday videos if you want to see what happens when a ship hits a commercial bridge full of cars. Oh, Madita says, I'm here because I like you. Well, I like you too, so I'm glad you're here. Thanks.
But he lays off too much. Look what happened.
Bump.
This is what
Okay. There are rules for this kind of stuff. This main ship here, the ship with the video, is doing the dumbass thing here. When you are in a crossing situation like this, where you're going to cross each other's path, if you have another ship on your right side, this is the starboard side. If there's a ship off your starboard side, you have an obligation to stay out of the other ship's way. The ship on your starboard side has the right of way. Well, these are both sailboats. So Zero Max says the sailboats have priority. These are both sailboats. So that just reverts to a standard crossing situation where a ship on your right side has priority over you. It's like in most places in the US, and I don't know if it's the same case everywhere else around the world, but if two cars come to a stop at a stop sign at an intersection at the same time, the car on the right has the priority. Yes, as Steve said, like a four-way stop, yield to the right. That's what's supposed to happen. But, and again, I've watched the accident after this one. So after this one, I don't know what happens. It just looked entertaining. So some of these may be things we've already done. But here we go. And this is a big sailboat too. And that doesn't look so big. So let's see.
What happened if two sailing vessels were on the same track?
Oh! You know what? That's bad. That is less than ideal. Jesus. That could kill somebody there. Youch. I'm just going to hope that because this is on video that nobody died from that, but that was a blast right in the middle of the ship.
On the same track.
So old dude just sat there and watched it happen, and then he decides to run. Mexican Vader says, that's bad. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Well, Oh yeah. Yeah, that boat is total digger. That's a lot of crunching and screaming. Yeah, that's what usually happens in ship collisions. Like, yeah, the scraping sound. Yeah, that sailboat is not getting repaired. That's a goner. Oof, dang.
Wait a minute. Is the sea not vast enough?
Yes, the sea is vast enough. We do not have to be running into people. That is absolutely unnecessary. I'm gonna have to remember to bring it home from the office one of these days. I've mentioned it a few times. I have this gigantic book. I mean, it's like a huge coffee table size book that's really, really thick, and it's called Collisions at Sea. How? Because it basically deals with cases where ships are literally in the middle of the ocean, and then they hit each other. They're literally in the middle of the goddamn ocean and they hit each other. And it's all analysis into how that happens. Spatha says the naked apes are just not smart enough. Well, at least we don't kill each other because
Ape has never killed ape, let alone an ape child.
sorry, I just really, really wanted to use that, and you gave me the opportunity. Thank you. All right. I don't know how to segue back into this video after that.
Ship fails will never be perfect without a failure footage from.
Yeah, I'm thinking you kind of want to be at a little bigger angle than that. Yeah, you kind of want to be coming in sideways. Coming in face first is not a good way to dock your boat.
Indonesia, like this one.
And dude, yelling ain't gonna help. He's not gonna hear you, and even if he does, it's TFL, too effing late. I heard it.
This
Wow.
is the condition of a passenger ship after passing through the rough seas in Germany. What a mess.
Oh yeah, you can get that a lot. If you get one of these ferries that gets caught in some rough weather, you get a wave that just blasts through one of the windows. That's not uncommon, really, for ships that handle themselves in rough weather.
Kein Fahrgast hat Bescheid gesagt, er ist mit seinem Fenster ein bisschen weitergefahren.
On July 5th, 2022, a cargo ship KM Lintas Damai 5 struck a poor fishing vessel
Oh,
in
Jesus.
the Indonesian waters.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what happened before we got to this point. But when we're to this point, it's pretty damn late. I mean, I'm assuming this is a fishing net line, and not a vessel being towed. You should stay out of the way of fishing vessels. Big giant ships should stay out of the way of vessels that are actively fishing. If this ship is just on his merry little way and not fishing, then it's just a regular vessel. And as we just said, this is a crossing situation. And so the big boat is on the right side of the little boat. So the little boat should stay out of the way of the big boat. But if this is engaged in fishing, which it looks like it is, big boat should stay out of the way of little boat. But it's also a very, very common thing And it also seems to be a weirdly common thing here. At least it used to be. The safety is getting a little better. It used to be a really common thing here in Asia where you would get these fishing boats that would cut as close as possible across the bow of these big commercial ships, because it would seem like the closer you get to crossing in front of the boat, the more luck you'll have fishing. That was a thing. Thankfully it's not that much of a thing anymore, but it was. And so you get a lot of collisions that would happen because someone from other places in this region would just cut straight across the bow of a commercial ship. And sometimes they wouldn't time it correctly. I don't know what's going on here. If they're just on their merry way. I mean, obviously this is a fishing. There's a line here of some sort. It doesn't look big enough to be a tow rope. So I'm going to assume it's a fishing net line. Big ship should have kept out of the way, but I don't know if this guy's trying to be the hero and trying to get good luck by cutting in front of the vessel. But whatever happened, you can all pretty much tell who's going to win this particular battle.
Cargo ship KM Lintas Damai 5 struck a poor fishing vessel.
Yeah. That's a big size difference there, Captain Obvious says.
So in the Indonesian waters of Tanakeke Island.
Oof.
Look how bad it is.
Yeah. I hope those are people that get rescued. Now, see, this actually may not be as bad as it. I mean, it's bad. The ship is gone, but it still seems that the ship is in one piece, is just riding on the bulbous bow of this ship. So it could theoretically be pushed like this, and these guys would still be safe until they can get rescued. Bad things happen when it splits it directly in half and both sides sink with these people, because it can take up to a half hour for one of these ships to slow down and turn around and come back to search for people. So this actually may be a good accident scenario. I mean, just looking at at this still picture sort of seems to give the crewmen on this ship their highest chances for survival. I hope they did.
An offshore construction vessel was broken into two and sank during Typhoon Chaba in the South China Sea on July 2nd.
Yeah, we talked about this briefly. This is the one where if any of you saw that the day it happened or the day after it happened, we briefly touched on it because there was no more information about it. So hey, we get some more information about this.
2nd, 2022. From around 30 vessel crews, only 3 were found.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the rest were still missing.
Yeah, so we're looking at 27 lost lives there. That wasn't a Chinese dinky, but that was a pretty big ship, this one here. Yeah, it was. Chaba was a bad typhoon.
This is what happens when you drive a boat like if you were riding a bicycle.
Current. Look at the current, dude. Wait. You can see the current is flowing sideways here. And it's coming through this restricted channel, so the current is going to be moving a lot faster. And you've got your little outboard or inboard motor just kind of pushing you. Dumbass. This is just a dumbass. Go. Whoops. Oops.
This is what happened when few fresh graduate students ask to do a.
Oops. Okay. Do they know towing? All right, here we have it. This is a tugboat, and it's towing something. We don't know what it's towing. I hope it's towing this vessel that's down here, because if it's not towing this vessel down here, then that means this vessel is going to cut straight across the tow line, which is a big no-no, and that's how people die. Let's see what happens here.
Senior job.
Fuck. That was an extended message. Okay. Weird. All right, let's go back. Now here's something you don't want to see on a tow. Yes, RBMK A56, stay away from that line. That sounds like you were there for the what happens when these lines snap video. People die when tow lines snap. As I mentioned, I've seen people cut in half by a rope. Unpleasant. But this line should be tight, because when it's not tight, it gets tight, and when it gets tight really quickly, it snaps and people die. Let's watch this here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. That's what I was just talking about. Okay, so it was. All right. God dang it. That's exactly what I knew was going to happen. Yeah, see? Oof. Well, this, where the camera is not the boat being towed, but thankfully, this boat here, where the camera is, did not cut that line. But these ropes are like this big around. I mean, they're big ropes. Give them 10 centimeters, 4 inches around at least. And those suckers snap, and it may as well be a bullet. I mean, it's just a high pressure whip. And if you're in the way when that thing tags you, you will die. How much do they weigh? They weigh a shit ton. They're nylon rope. They're nylon or cotton rope, usually usually nylon, but man, they're hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And boom, wow. I've seen 3 horrific accidents involving people with snapping lines. That's why this shit freaks me out, because I've seen what it can do. Exactly, that was one of them, the penis degloving, which just search for a video on your browser for penis degloving injury. It just caught him right inside of the thigh and just peeled his skin from one knee up his thigh, around his crotch, and down to his other knee. It literally ripped the skin off of his junk. Ugh. And another one got his head taken off, and another one got whacked in half. Yeah. Do not screw around with these lines. I mean, just watch the tension with this thing. God, it just freaks me out. And look how far away. Did you hear it hit that tugboat? Just listen to that impact.
Hope they take lesson.
Oh, wait, let's go.
Your job. Hope they take lesson. Another ship fails from Indonesia.
Okay, this is sped up. And the feds at aircraft carrier decks sometimes experience cable snaps, which can kill dozens of people if they aren't paying enough attention to put the pieces in caskets with names. Yep. There's lots of videos on YouTube from like Navy vessels and military Sea Lift Command vessels, because they have lots and lots and lots and lots of cameras on them. And there's lots and lots and lots of accidents where cables snap, anchor chains snap, mooring cables snap. Seriously, just don't screw around with it. But this video here is sped up clearly. Ship accidents happen in remarkably slow motion, where you can see what's going to happen minutes in the future, and there's not a damn thing you can do to avoid it, because inertia. The laws of inertia are real. So, yeah, this guy's coming in hot, but not as hot as it looks like here in the video. Well, that's not too bad. That was okay. I mean, didn't even scratch the boat. That was actually pretty darn good. He looks like he came in tight. That wasn't a fail. That looked pretty darn good to me. I didn't see him scrape anywhere. He just kind of hit this bumper, but that's what it's for. That's literally there to cushion the back. Right. Oh, tugboat. This tugboat is apparently trying to help this guy, this big guy here, get to the berth or stop him from smashing into it.
This poor tugboat sacrificed itself to save the big ship.
Jump!
That's a good little tugboat. All right. Kudos to
Rare
him.
footage of ship launch fails was caught on camera.
Okay, when they launching ships is pretty cool to watch. I know some of you that have seen these have watched the ships get launched, and a lot of times they will call them fails, but that's exactly how they're supposed to be launched. Let's see if this is a real launching or a failed launching.
During the launch, one of the bollards of the assisting
Oh God. Yeah, this is a fail. Oh God. Okay. Dude is standing here. Oh God.
a rare
Oops, that's not what we want to do. We want to do this.
footage of ship launch fails
Dude is standing here with a camera. I thought this was a line on the ship.
was caught on camera.
Oh God.
During the launch,
Yeah. They're launching this ship and it is still moored to
one of the
oh God.
bollards of the assisting
Yeah, see, and these lines, I told you the ones on the tugboats are like this. These mooring lines that wrap around these concrete or steel bollards are like head size because they have to hold these gigantic mega ships in place. These are huge, huge lines. And it's getting pulled tight. And this dude is standing there with a camera. Oh, did I leave that up there? Sorry, I was boomering out. Boop. Thank you. Yeah, I was watching my other screen. Yikes. Remember everything we said about about the tight lines and when they snap, and then put on like a twice as big and twice as long line. All right. God. Oh, it says here what happens. One of the bollards fails. Okay, this is exactly the same thing that happens when the rope breaks, but in reverse. Worst case scenario, this line breaks and cuts dude here in half. At worst, kills him at best. But this here, the bollard is it's a gigantic thing. They're usually about a meter high or but 3/4 of a meter to about a meter high, and they're made of like concrete or steel. That's going to break off, and the same thing is going to happen, except it's going to launch it at the ship instead of the rope getting launched to shore. So, all right, let's watch this gigantic bollard get ripped out.
assisting barges failed at Balenciaga's shipyards on July 15, 2022.
Let's go back and see if we have a picture of the bollard here. See if we have a picture of the bollard.
A rare footage of ship.
Okay, this here is the bollard. This is a very, very, very large. It's dark, so it looks like it could be steel or iron. Yeah. This is going to come loose and go flying towards the vessel if the closed captions are correct.
Ship launch fails was caught on camera. During the launch, one of the bollards of the assisting barges failed at Balenciaga's shipyards on July 15, 2022.
Oh, God damn. Yep, that'll do it. Holy crap. Yeah. Ugh. That was pretty cool. And those things literally weigh tons. That is like tons of steel or concrete. And that just snapped that thing off. Holy crap.
Felt at Balenciaga's shipyards on July 15, 2022.
Wow. All right.
Luckily, no injuries reported.
Oh, God, it was
Just-
full of people. Holy shit. Where did all these people come from? All right.
Imagine if that rope hits one of them.
Exactly. Holy crap. Well, as the Fed said, if this rope snaps, these people here probably all die. No joke. Seriously. All of these people probably die if that rope breaks. Holy crap! Holy crap. I thought this splash here was the baller just like going in the water. That launched that thing like 100 meters down the holy crap. It almost, what the hell's on the other side of that? It almost took out this boat, for God's sake. That would have been weird. Holy crap. Yeah, that would launches this thing right through this boat. That would have sucked. Wow. All right. Well, let's watch this thing get launched almost to this ship over here, and then we'll just let it play through. Wow, this is a cool one.
That rope hits one of them.
Good Lord. Huh.
This is the footage of a drunken captain collided with a tour boat
Oh, that's not something you want to see.
and flees the scene, causing 12 people injured.
Oh, okay. You see, he hits this tour boat right here. Huh. Okay.
People injured.
Boom. Dumbass.
Please, as a responsible captain, always. A taxi
boat collides with a large tourist boat in Rotterdam. This I haven't heard about this accident. This is new. All right. I have not seen this. Let's see what happens.
boat collides with a large tourist boat at Rotterdam on July 22nd, 2022.
Ah, that tourist boat. Yikes. Oof. Yeah, that little taxi boat is toast. It's toast. People are dead. People are dead in that accident. We're right now handling a case that took place in Hungary. Kind of the same thing happened to passenger like tourist boat got hit and 27 people died. That people however many people were on that taxi, that's probably how many people died. Yikes. Oof.
The small taxi boat suffered a damage causing 4 adults, 1 captain, and a child almost trapped in an upturned boat. Fortunately, a rescue team came fast and helped them all.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Holy crap. Huh. Well, that's what we call a miracle.
Another ship fails from Indonesia.
God damn. Again, this ship can't hear you. This ship can't hear you. And even if they could, it's too late. Ah. Just opening it up like a can of tuna fish. That's not a sound you want to hear. We love Indonesia, except for the owner of this ship. Probably doesn't love Indonesia that much. Yeah, Flux, me too. Like I said, I haven't watched this. I have no idea what the volume is out of my control.
What do you think? Who's to blame?
Well, this ship, obviously.
Working on board ships is not an easy job. Sometimes we could fall into the...
Remember, those of you that watched the video, we talked about this. Going up these ladders in this kind of weather is bad. Why is it bad? It's bad news because I'm going to try to remember that this is open and not boomer it here. What do we have let's see. What do we have for examples? Okay, we have a tobacco box and this is the tall ship. This is the little orange boat. So the little orange boat is bobbing on the ocean. You have to climb up the ladder to get up the whiskey boat. And what happens is you have to jump onto the ladder. And when the ship is down, when the vessel you're on is down low and you step on the ladder attached to the big ship, you can't climb fast enough because then it catches the wave and goes boom, and it smashes you, traps your leg. We saw the video of the guy that was climbing up the ladder, and that's what happened. The ship came up and just twisted his leg and turned it into a little floppy fish market of a leg. This guy looks like he's going to fall. Yep. He said we could fall into the sea. But yeah, see, he did exactly how you're not supposed to board these things. You board, if you have to board at all, you wait until the boat you're on is at its highest point. Then you get on the rope and you climb as fast as you possibly can. It's better to not. I tried to find a video where I was faced with this situation. I had to go on board and interview some people about an accident. And I just said, sorry, we're going to go back to port now because I'm not doing that because I've seen videos, peeps. Well, let's see what happens to this unfortunate person here.
Working on board ships is not an easy job. Sometimes we could fall into the sea while being transferred.
Oh God. All right, let's take off the closed caption and see where. Oh, that's him right there between this gigantic piece of steel and this smaller piece of steel. Oops. Oh, you missed it. I got boomered. See, I told you. I never do this. God dang it. All right. God dang it. I never, ever do that. And that's why. I know. Boomer me. Boomer. Yeah. Go ahead. Get it out. I told you. See, those of you that watch me do these things, you know this is why it annoys people when I stop the video and I keep my video small. It's because I forget to watch the screen you're all watching, and I'm watching my other screen because I'm an idiot. All right. Cool Frog in the house. What's up, Cool Frog? All right. Are we all done boomering me? Well, let's now I'll let you see what I saw.
Not an easy job. Sometimes we could fall into the sea while being transferred like this one.
Oh, God. And then you just become smashed. Jesus.
Hope he's okay.
He doesn't look okay.
Similar to previous footage, but luckily this time nothing happened to them.
Whoa. Yeah, that's when you just go back.
See? Working on board ships is not as easy as we thought, right?
No, it's not.
Another ship fails from Indonesia because of engine failure. This Indonesian ship cannot stop at its final destination port.
See you later.
The waves in the ocean sometimes seem calm and weak, but in reality, she is quite strong. Look how this strong ocean current pulls out the boat away and makes the tow rope loose.
Oh no, tow ropes again. See you later, barge.
Due to human errors, a ship named Pescargan 4 sank during the unloading operation in Argentina
Oops.
on August 5, 2022.
This is not how your ship is supposed to look like when it's at the berth.
Ya, boludo, casi no dimos vuelta al barco. Mirá, 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 mirá. Se da vuelta, se da vuelta, se da vuelta, se da vuelta.
Despite the dangerous and stressful situation, the workers on the boat were able to get off the ship in time and there were no injuries.
Yeah, that's pretty
Be
mild.
bad, this accident cost a few jobs. Look, that was a whale
What the
landing on a boat, crushed and flipped the boat under, ejecting all on board. We can see the boat looks badly damaged, but fortunately,
Wait.
everyone was okay.
Oh wait, I want to
Damaged.
show the whale again. Holy crap.
A few jobs. Look, that was a whale landing.
Well, there's a story to write home about. Holy crap.
Jobs. Look, that was a whale landing on a boat, crushed and flipped the boat under, ejecting
wanted to have
all on
sex.
board. We can see the boat looks badly damaged.
Well, of course it's badly damaged. A whale jumped on it, you fuckwit.
But fortunately, everyone was okay.
Oh God, see again. Look how all it takes is for this other boat here to catch a good wave and smash against the side of this ship, and dude is just a red streak down the side of this boat. These things freak me out. Oh God. Oh, his leg's caught. Jesus. Oops. Oops. There you go. Don't cut in front of other people. Oh, we've seen this one before. There goes all the lifeboats. This is a problem we're seeing more and more of in the world these days. And this happened very, very recently in Denmark, I believe. They built one of these gigantic ships, and it didn't quite make it under the bridge. It's a big difference. Well, see, tides, I'm sure this thing is there because it can go under this bridge at low tide, or with more ballast, you know, have it sinking lower in the water, or at low tide, or a combination of both. But the way I'm looking at it here, it's either high tide, they don't have enough ballast in the ballast tanks, or a combination of both. But yep. This is how you telegraph lots and lots and lots of damage. And again, this is all of the really expensive, important stuff is in this part of the ship. Oh, he didn't go under the tallest part. Oh, okay. Oh, boo. Boo. Everything was okay. Boo. Boo. All right. Well, that was a letdown there at the end. Money. That's why ships are that big. Statuesque Misk. And that was yeah. Yikes. All righty. Well, let's do let's do like 10 more minutes here. We'll wrap it up at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Righty. So again, while we're bringing it up, hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely the subscribe button, definitely the like button. Super chats are there. Joining is here. Hit the notification. Everything's cool. Do what you need. I think I've got 4 things starred. Why do I have 4 things starred? Okay. Drink. Oh, we already did that one. Thank you. But yeah, always drink. EPW, thank you so much. Sorry it took so long to get to this. Those pirates effed around and found out. I hope you're still here, EPW. Thank you so much for that super chat. Again, and also for Hypershanta, thank you so much for your super chat. I hope you're still here again. Got carried away. What happens if a vessel strikes and kills a whale? Do they have to call the sea game warden? Been wondering about this. You should report it because there's a large portion of whales that are tagged and things. And if they can place a whale at your point, then they can check it and see if it's okay. It's like manatees in Florida, I guess. Your Floridians can correct me. I think you have to report any interaction with a manatee. Thank you so much for that super chat, sir. Deeply appreciated. Trevor Gulk, Legal Vices. Have you seen the issue with jet fuel being pumped into water source for USS Nimitz? It's a scary story. I saw the headlines. I haven't had time to get into the articles yet. We'll have to look closer at that. Manatees are underwater floaters. Yes, they are. And poor little manatees get propeller marks on their backs and tails quite a bit. Whale meat is really, really good. I agree. All right, let's watch this here for a few minutes. Then we'll do the wrap up, and then we'll let you all go. King's Knight Horus. So, Jeff, who is Junior Mom? I'm still trying to figure that one out. I don't have any idea what you mean by that. My mother-in-law is a nice lady. Okay. I'm trying to figure out who is Junior Mom. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means. Okay. Back to the videos. Not going to boomer. Going to share the screen. Got to share the screen. All righty. Boom. There we go. Hey, Beeve. Long time no see. I don't know how long you've been lurking here, but I haven't seen you here. It's first time in a long time. Welcome. That makes me happy. Welcome. All right. Let's watch a few things here, and then we'll wrap it up in about 10 minutes.
We can't all be perfect behind the wheel or controls of a vehicle. That's why we have automobile insurance.
We also have ship insurance.
Because we're not perfect, and ship captains are no different. They make mistakes.
It's just their insurance costs a little bit more.
The problem is their mistakes often have far worse consequences.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bad consequence right there.
From running aground to oil spills, here are 15 biggest ship collisions and mistakes caught on camera.
Okay. Tell us, what are the 15 biggest ship collisions caught on camera?
Number 15. MV Wakashia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
On July 25th.
Oil spill. A fuck ton of oil in a very, very environmentally sensitive area. Oof. This is the front end of the ship. This is where the front end of the ship should be. This is everything that was in the ship.
2020, the MV Wakashio Japanese bulk carrier ran aground on a coral reef off the coast of Mauritius. It leaked nearly 1,000 tons of oil over 27 kilometers near world-renowned coral reefs. To say it's an ecological disaster is an understatement. The area
gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, it's an understatement. All right. If I just suddenly turn off the audio, please understand. This guy's rough to listen to, but he gives them important information. Wow. All right. Just pretend it's me doing a funny voice. Yeah, anyway, this thing just dumped like 1 million gallons of oil. I just in a very, very sensitive coral reef, and the damage from this was astounding. Or should I say the damage was astounding.
Ran aground is popular with tourists and is a sanctuary for rare wildlife. It also has wetlands that are considered a site of international importance. Upwards of 3,000 tons of oil had been pumped from the ship's fuel reservoirs to stop further leakages, and booms had been reinforced to absorb any oil still leaking out. A state of emergency was declared, and Mauritius said it would seek compensation from the ship owner and the insurance company.
Bye.
According to Greenpeace Africa.
Yeah, and see, when the oil spills, they have these oil booms here. These are just they're just literally oil fences. They try to fence it off, and then the oil, like, because it floats or sinks to the bottom, it stays within this fence. But that's the theory anyway.
Thousands of animals were at risk of drowning in a sea of pollution. This would have dire consequences for the food security, health, and economy of Mauritius. Local residents were also breathing heavy oil vapor and were both sad and angry about the spill.
I'm sure
Mauritius
they were.
Police were granted a search warrant to board the vessel and take items of interest to help with the investigation, such as the ship's logbook.
Before we go on, like this video, roll on your face when you're...
Number 14, MSC Opera.
The opera. When he introduces the videos, it's annoying, but then he kind of mellows out when he gets into the story.
June 2019.
We've seen this one several times.
Injured in Venice when a cruise ship had a bad day. The crash happened on a major thoroughfare on the Giudecca Canal, which leads to St. Mark's Square in the northeastern Italian
Just get out of my way, little tourist boat.
Was out of control when it rammed into a dock and the riverboat full of tourists. As it was unable to stop, it blared its horn as it hit the River Countess, with dozens of people running away in panic. Videos of the collision showed people rushing to disembark from the riverboat via a short gangplank.
Run, people, run. It's bigger than you. It'll hurt.
2 people were left stranded on the walkway as the boat became dislodged from the pier. A witness to the event, Elisabetta Pasqualin, who was watering plants on her terrace at the time, watched as the cruise boat moved slowly towards the dock. She said the ship's bow crashed hard into the bank, and when it hit the smaller boat, it made it look like it was made of paper or plastic rather than steel. According to the cruise ship's owner, it suffered a mechanical failure, and 2 tugboats were unable to stop it from ramming into the riverboat. Number 13.
Woohoo! It's that video. Oh, hang on. Whoa, you skipped ahead. Yes, it's that video. Those of you that have seen it know this video. I love when things like this happen. That's right, 1978 radio's DJ. That's it, all the wacky whacks all the time. Welcome to your drive home. It's going to be a rough one. There's rain out in the day. Let's go to you with the news and weather on the 9s as I take a dump. Yep. Wow. All right, this ship, the one we're going to get to. I overpowered my microphone with my cheer of victory. I am moving the comment, but that was important. So all right, let's get to this thing here.
suffered a mechanical failure, and two tugboats were unable to stop it from ramming into the riverboat. Number 13.
Now, I'll be able to tell you if there's anything wrong with the narration in this case, because this accident made an appearance on the very first one we ever did, and it was an accident because, like this one, I have not seen the video. This is a case I worked on. Or this is a case that I worked on. Yes, this this is a case that I worked on. If I turn my head and look right out this window right here, I'm looking at this bridge. If the camera just turns a little bit this direction, you'll be able to. My house is kind of about a few inches off screen to the left. Yes, this is the Russian drunk captain. Yep, this is the Gwanganli Bridge. It's right outside my window. My office is just right at the end of this bridge. So this is a case we worked on a few years ago, which, as was just mentioned in chat by Barney Yamam, a Russian drunk pilot. Yeah, so let's look at what he has to say about this case, because I know all about it. Wolfman Jeff, that's right. Oh, you're old. Debbie Joey, you're old AF if you remember Wolfman Jack. Let's go.
Cargo ship Sea Grand. We all know not to drink and drive, but what about drink and captain? In 2019, an intoxicated captain at the helm of a 370-foot Russian cargo ship.
Weirdly, he was supposed, he started over here. No, okay, this camera is backwards. We'll have to wait for a better angle. Did I witness this? No, but D-Way asked if I witnessed this. I did not witness it, but I had a friend who was actually on the bridge. Let me pull this out of the way here, and I need to push play just for a second to make sure this is reversed. Oops. Yeah, this is reversed, so it's confusing. The bottom half of the traffic. Yeah, go. Okay. Yeah, you're right. All right. So what happened was I had a friend that was on that was on this, and this image is flipped, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of bugging me out. Let's go back. All right, this is the proper view.
Intoxicated captain.
My friend was just on this bridge. He was somewhere around here when it hit the bridge, and he called me and said, "A ship just hit the bridge. I think you're going to be busy." And then within minutes, I have friends that live in these apartments here, and I have friends that live over here. Everybody was calling me saying, "Uh-oh, looks like you got some work." And I'm like, "What?" I eventually went out, and you saw the damage on the bridge and stuff. But yeah, that's people. Yeah, we were involved in this case. What happened is it was supposed to, this is a place here is, let me see if I can. Okay, let's see if we can up the resolution here. This is a department. This is a grocery store, like a big grocery store called Mega Mart, right off to the left here. Kind of across the street from the Mega Mart is this tiny little pier, this little berth that was used for a tiny little steel company. So they would load steel onto these Russian vessels, and they would go from Busan to Vladivostok and back. The ship was supposed to leave the pier and turn to starboard. Let me see. Now it was supposed to turn and go up towards Vladivostok, but for some reason it just kind of did this U-turn and smashed into the bridge, going completely the opposite direction it needed to go. And thankfully Thankfully, it hit the lower part of the bridge. If this thing had gone under the highest part of the bridge, it probably wouldn't have stopped until it hit the beach. But yeah, this is a case I worked on.
And at the helm of a 370-foot Russian cargo ship called Sea Grand, crashed it into a major highway bridge near South Korea's port.
And again, every time we talk about this bridge, random fact, if you saw the original Black Panther movie, there was a scene where he was on top of a blue BMW in Busan, Korea, and they were doing this big fight scene on a bridge. That's this bridge. This is the bridge where the fight scene in Black Panther took place. Fun fact.
Of Busan. The accident into a major highway bridge near South Korea's port of Busan. The accident happened during rush hour traffic, causing vessel damage and tearing a huge hole in the steel structure of the bridge. Some news sources stated that the ship was traveling from Busan to its home port in Vladivostok in Russia with...
Oh, wait, let's see if we can see my neighborhood in that big wide shot.
Traveling from Busan to its home port.
No. Nope, my house is always there's this little tiny hill here. My house is just kind of over there, and there's like a bunch of condominiums and stuff over here. That's kind of where my house is.
Or in Vladivostok in Russia with 3 million.
Oh, there's lots and lots and lots of rebar here. But yeah, it did some damage.
Traveling from Busan to its home port in Vladivostok in Russia with 3 million pounds of steel coils. The captain was supposed to steer the ship north along the coast before navigating along the Sea of Japan's eastern edge. Instead, he steered it a couple of miles before turning it into a bay, heading for the double-deck Gwangan Bridge. This bridge has the second longest span in the country. Korea Coast Guard officials tracking regular sea traffic saw the ship's deviation and radioed the captain to turn around.
Lots
the
of
captain
it.
may not have understood English or didn't speak it to follow instructions.
And that was the funny thing. He pretended he didn't speak English because we arrested this ship. When he was making this U-turn, when he came out of the port and was making this U-turn, he hit 2 yachts. We were representing the owners of the yachts in this case. So yeah, we represented the owners of the yachts, and so we arrested the ship. We seized the ship through a court order, and you had to go serve the arrest order on the ship. So you have to give the documents to the captain and say, the ship's being arrested. You can't leave port. Blah blah blah. I don't know English. I don't speak English. Well, we were prepared for that because one of the lawyers in our office is a Korean who speaks Russian. So we got that out of the way, and he got served. But yeah, he spoke English. He was just a little liquored up. Yeah.
After the collision, the captain fled the scene before the KCG detained the vessel.
Well, he tried to flee. Again, inertia's a bitch. You can see him trying to go backwards here. He was trying to go backwards to put the ship astern, but it takes a while. He only got a few hundred yards before the Coast Guard was all over him. So
number 12.
Okay. So yeah, that's a case that I was involved in. That was fun. Maybe we should just quit while we're ahead. We can finish this up next Maritime Monday. But I didn't know we were going to run into that case, so I talked extra long. So yeah, well, we'll deal with that next Monday. We'll finish it up. Trevor Gulk asks, Legal Vices, what is your radio persona's name? When I worked in radio back in the late 80s and early 90s, I used the name Kevin Fox at 94.5 KVFM in Logan, Utah. Yeah, it was Kevin Fox. I can't remember where the Kevin came from, but the Fox came because I liked Michael J. Fox at that point in time. So that's where the Fox part came from. I can't remember where Kevin came from. DM asks, so when it comes to suits like the oil spills and stuff like that, is the captain often named in the suit? If they are, extant naturally, or is it just not worth? It's just not worth it to go after them. They go after the ownership companies. They're backed by incredible amounts of insurance, so it's usually just the insurance companies, and they name the owners. The insurance companies back them. So yeah, it very may well have been Kevin Bacon. There's a good possibility that it was Kevin from Kevin Bacon, because it was the 80s, you know. Yeah. What damage was done to that bridge? Pretty much just what you saw there. It just knocked a hole. Couple million to fix, if I remember correctly. Couple $1 million. The yachts were similarly priced. Well, that was a fun little show. We went from murder to levity, so that's good. That brings us to the end of another Maritime Monday. Just are we gonna spend the next few minutes here kind of wrapping it up for the evening. If you're going to leave early without hearing the weekend preview, please hit the like button on your way out. Please subscribe, and please hit that notification button. And if you have subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. No, I have no sons. As no vodka was harmed during the making of this show. No vodka was harmed during the making of this show, but the bridge was harmed due to a large amount of vodka. If I remember, he was about 3 times the legal limit. Yeah, we just kind of ran out of we ran out of story. When we have to read the news, the stories tend to go a little bit faster than we can watch. So what's going to be happening? Again, please, everybody, like, subscribe, and do it. You join, do whatever you need to do on your way out. That'll be great. But what have we got coming up in the immediate future? Tomorrow, there goes my microphone again. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing people behaving really, really, really badly in court. It's going to be about a 3-hour show. We can fast forward through some of it. I don't have time to edit it down myself, but it's an amazing child custody case that was it was brought to my attention by Mike from Chicago. I asked him because he did it for one of his videos, and I asked him if I could use it on mine because it was so infuriating. This psychotic, this woman from hell. I've never seen a judge that livid in my life for that amount of time. This judge was raging for the better part of 3 hours at the mother in this, and it was they're arguing about their child. Oh God, I just felt so horrible for that kid and for the ex-husband. And the judge, this woman was on one, and the judge was ranting. It's a great show. Just come tomorrow to watch this hearing that took place a couple of weeks ago. Dang. I still have no idea what you're talking about. Look up my bro Jeff Jr. for good content with Kyle, aka Barry. But I don't even know what that means. You got to be a little more specific. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow. People behaving badly in court for about 3 hours. And it's one thing that if you can't watch it all at once, you will come back. You will come back and watch it again. I've watched the entire thing 4 times now because it's unbelievable how horrible this person is. And I just feel terrible for that kid. Wednesday, we're going to be talking about Korea. A little lighthearted news. We're going to be talking about the great kimchi crisis facing Korea. A little BTS news for those of you that are into BTS. A skater who has done something that is frowned upon socially here. So we'll be talking about a lot of Korean things. There's some North Korean issues, some nuclear stuff. We'll be having some serious news and some lighter news about Korea. People ask about Korea, what's going on in Korea. So I decided to do one of the Korea stories. I haven't talked to him yet, but I think I'll I think for Wednesday, I'll send Legal Mindset a link and see if he can join. I haven't talked to him yet, so I don't know. King's Nighthorse says, next one, Jeff, read it. Okay. Fingers right back at you. What are you talking about here? I'm so confused. But yeah, anywho. That'll be Wednesday. Thursday is OJ Simpson. We're going to continue watching F. Lee Bailey, legendary defense lawyer, absolutely crush and maul and just batter racist cop Mark Furman into the dirt for another few hours. And again, tomorrow we get into the bad words. The N-bomb is thrown around repeatedly, so we will have a strict moderation of chat tomorrow that will go completely unnoticed by you. N-bombs, racial slurs, all of that, things that can get me deplatformed will be dealt with tomorrow. But we haven't had the problem yet. So I respect all of you. You respect me and my channel. So I don't expect there to be any problems. But if someone gets any ideas into their heads, just nothing like that is going to be tolerated tomorrow, because we're going to play the audio. And that's risky enough. We don't need chat adding to it. So there we go. That'll be Thursday. Friday will be my 25,000 subscriber griftathon, where it's just going to be $100 shots or an accumulation of $100 to do a shot. Just drinking and grifting, so I don't have to drink and grift so much during the rest of the month. It's always a fun thing. It's all in fun. I get mail, people hating on my Fuck It Friday stream. How you're glorifying drinking. I can't believe anybody would pay you $100. It's all in fun. We just do it for fun. You know, I can't stand the people that just spend every 10 minutes like, send me super chat, send me like, send me do this, do that. I do 2, maybe 3 times in a 2 or 3 hour show. I usually like once an hour. I just mentioned it, but you know, the super grifters, like the DSPs and things, they're just you know, these beggars 24 hour. Well, every time they're on, every minute of every hour they're on stream the whole month. I don't want to do that. We just front load it a little bit. The first Friday of every month is Fuck It Friday. We just have fun. So yeah, you know, it's just a lighthearted grift stream where I try to earn as much money as possible. You try to give me as much money as possible. We drink a lot, we joke, we tell ridiculous stories. It's all just nonsense. But I've also sent out a lot of invitations to a lot of people that helped me get to 25,000 subscribers so quickly. So I'm hoping that a lot of them have responded positively. I'm hoping a lot more will. So we should be having some good conversations with some good, well-known people here on YouTube in our little kind of LawTube and LawTube adjacent community. And next Sunday was supposed to be a stream with Steph, the Alter Nerd. She was supposed to be on here. And if you don't know who Steph, the Alter Nerd is, you need to get over to Steph, STEF, the Alter Nerd, and watch her channel, like her channel, subscribe to her channel and like her videos. She's funny. She's hilarious, and she does a lot of pop culture and kind of law related pop culture stuff. So Steph the Alter Nerd, dang this microphone. Steph the Alter Nerd was supposed to be on my stream next Sunday. We were going to do a special Sunday afternoon London and I guess it'd be Sunday morning US stream, but she forgot it was her birthday. so we're working on rescheduling the Steph the Alter Nerd thing. I've suggested some times. I'm waiting to hear back from her. It could be a Saturday night stream. It could be a Sunday night stream. I'll just let you know. But Steph is great. Steph is hilarious and funny. And ever since I saw her first video, I wanted to be the first law tuber to get a hold of her and then to have her on my channel. But Eric Huntley, who is very much LawTube adjacent, got her first. But I'll be number 2. We got her here on the channel. She'll be fun. That's coming up soon. And then next Monday, we're back here again to do more Maritime Monday. So that's the weekend preview taking us through. And We don't know what's happening with Brooks yet. Today is jury selection. It should be starting very, very soon, actually, probably in the next couple of hours. It's the jury selection is reportedly not televised. Nick has talked about having Law of Self-Defense, Andrew Branca and myself on with him. Haven't if he sends the summing, no, Nick isn't coming today. If anything, I'm going on Nick's. If he invites me, I will go. So it's all up to Nick. He said he would invite me when he wanted to, and that's great. I have my phone sitting right next to my ear so that any alerts will come right into my skull and hopefully wake me up. And Jillian N is a member for 2 months. F the Karens who complain about your grift guzzling. They're just jealous because no one wants to pay them to put anything in their mouths. And Steph the Alternerd is hilarious. Yes, she is. And thank you and congratulations to you, Jillian N, for being a member of the Bent Halos and Broken Wings tier for 2 months. Yes, Steph is often with Signore and the Popcorn Planet, isn't she? Yes, that is Steph the Alternerd. You are absolutely correct. That is her. She has my kind of humor, my kind of style, and we just need to talk about some boozy when she can. Need to talk some more about Alec Baldwin. She's done some good Alec Baldwin videos, and we can talk about other things that are law related and pop culture related. So that'll be fun. That's what I said. That's what we're looking at for the next week, and I'll let you know as things change and things solidify. Just got to work on the dates. Those are the things that are up in the air right now. Steph the Alternerd. Whatever we can work out time wise, because it's a 8-hour time difference between her and me. So if it's really super late for me, it's when she's getting off work, and then when I'm getting off work, she's asleep and we're getting ready for her work. So we're kind of a little bit difficult. I'm probably going to be the one that stays up super late because I accommodate my guests. Yes, her rants are phenomenal. Steph the Alternerd needs to be subscribed to and liked. So all right, and then if Nick calls anytime during this week for the Brooks, I will be up and at it. And if I do have to go on Nick's stream, my streams will be fairly short because I will need to get some sleep. I can't come home from work, do my stream, do Nick's stream, which usually goes right until I go to work. So we're going to play it by ear as long as this Brooks thing goes on. But until I get summoned by the Pope to visit the Vatican, until I get summoned by the Pope to visit his particular Vatican, it'll be business as usual. All right. With that in mind, it's time to shut this thing down. It's midnight. Time for me to get ready for sleep. Time for you all to go about doing whatever you're doing. I just need you can bail now if you want, but I just need a couple of minutes here so I can see who's on and who's around that I can dump my stream into. That sounds really vulgar. Let's see here. Get to my studio. Pull this up here. I should have done this while the video is playing, but again, like and subscribe on your way out. You can just kind of watch me until I do this, because I think Hayden at Aussie Overlord is still streaming, so that seems to be the target here. It just takes a while to get there. Going into my studio, going into this particular video content live. Maritime Monday, PINGSHIN 101. That's this video. Customization. Hang tight so we can go dump you into Aussie Overlord here. Oh, I didn't have to put on members only chat today. I forgot to do that. But hey, looks like we got it worked out. Redirect. Oh shoot. Okay, that's another thing I forgot. Tuesday night, U.S. time, which will be Wednesday morning Korea time, I will be on Legal Mindset for another Pimp Cast with Drex and Andrew and potentially Criminal Sean and someone else. I can't remember who the other person is going to be. Drex, me. I guess that's just the four of us. So it'll be Drex, Legal Mindset, potentially Criminal Sean, and myself. That'll be fun. No, the Pimp Cast. The Pimp Cast is on Legal Mindset for everybody. Everything I do, except for the members only stream we do once or twice a month, is all open to everybody. So, all right. Set that on your calendars as well. Friday evening, go over to Legal Mindset and he'll have the notification. He'll have the video up there for you so you can get a notification for it. Pimpcast, Tuesday evening U.S. time, Wednesday morning in Asia. All right, let's dump into Aussie Overlord here. Add him. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much. That's awesome. Great to have you here. Thanks to the mods who, as always, do some amazing stuff. And thank you to you here, the best chat on the internet. Thank you for all of these super chats this evening. Thank you for being here. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Take care and go say howdy to Overlord. Tell him that I am dumping my stream into him. Bye.